It's the weekend.
Warriors.
Warriors, come on to play.
Yeah, here we go.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. We are broadcasting live from the Weekend Warrior Studios in beautiful Peoria, Arizona. I'm Ralph Romano. Alongside my partners in crime, I've got the legend, Neil the Mime Lynch, and the legendary Philip Emerine. And this is the Weekend Warriors.
Hey, everybody. We want you to be involved in the show today because we love you and we care about you.
Love you.
And we think you're special.
Wow.
So you got two ways to do that. The first one is you can comment on any of our social media streams. That's X, that's YouTube, and that's the Book of Faces. Or if you are so inclined, you can use our Weekend Warriors text line. That's 866-412-6366. Phil, do I need to repeat that?
Please.
All right. It's 866-412-6366. Text in now. Text in now.
Text in now. And oh my gosh, we have early morning break.
Oh, let's hear it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, right.
Big boy breaking
The
news.
NFL has announced this morning that the term "choose love" will be on the back of helmets and in end zones in the divisional round.
Okay, anyway, next thought. Let's go. Are you kidding me? That was the news?
That's breaking news.
Well, part of that we should explain. Our pre-production meeting was interrupted by the breaking news sounder
the
that
ESPN
comes.
chime.
Yes, and what they deemed as breaking news was that very information. So we decided to run with it.
yeah,
Listen, you know what? I was really like all week I was thinking about what are they going to put in the sidelines and on the helmets in the NFL game?
What are they going to choose?
Seriously, I lost sleep over that. And so,
And in the end, they chose
love. They chose love. Listen, I'm going to be able to sleep better tonight knowing that's going to be on the end zones. I mean,
I was pulling for choose ice, but I didn't do it. So
anyway,
you need ice for your drinks, guys.
Yeah,
Come on,
so we're going to move on.
It's
from
going to
that.
be cold everywhere. They're going to choose ice.
Wow.
Cold summer.
Yeah.
So cool.
Come here, I got to show you something. All right,
Day in hell.
let's get going. We have a lot to talk about today. Obviously, the divisional round starts today. We'll get into that. That'll be most of the second half of our show. We got some NBA news to talk through, but let's start in our favorite spot, the MLB.
Well, it's your favorites. I mean, mine too.
It's yours too.
It's mine too, kind of.
Is there a trove of breaking news that we have tucked away or something that we need to talk about?
Yeah, there's been a lot of happenings this week.
Actually, this was a very busy week. Within the time that we've last talked, there's been a coach fired, a coach hired, at least in the NFL.
Yes.
The NBA, the trade rumor mill is buzzing. And I guess we got some more deferments.
Well, what we have is
baseball
chaos, right? The craziness of MLB. So it was funny too. So it came across the wire that the Dodgers had, because there's all this stuff about the Mets signing Tucker and the Blue Jays with their 10-year offer and blah, blah, blah. And I just sat there and waited. And then it came across Tucker to the Dodgers. And I was just like laughing. I was like, this is just too funny because I know the exact reaction is going to be chaos. And then within 5 minutes, the internet, oh my gosh.
Chaos
happened on the show.
Chaos.
Is that our new breaking news sounder?
Within 5 minutes, there was absolute chaos on the internet.
Certainly was.
Well, let me read you some chaos. So I work for my day job, I work at a Canadian software company. And of course, there are a couple of Blue Jays fans there. So this was a Slack I received yesterday from my boss. Okay.
That's funny.
Okay, I'm going to quote this. This is a quote, so I'm just quoting.
Can you use
here.
the accent?
No, he's from Toronto. He doesn't have the accent.
Hey.
No, he says, "Dodgers just signed Tucker, you son of a bitch," unquote.
Hey.
So that's what he said. So yeah,
Damn Canadians.
So they are not. All of Canada or the Blue Jays fans are not happy.
So, but let's talk about this real quick. So, all the BS aside, Tucker, 4 years, $240 million, option out at year two, and after year two and after year three, you can opt out. So you got a short-term deal where the Blue Jays were trying to get him for 10 years. The Mets were trying to lock him for 5 to 6 years.
What was the signing bonus?
I think it was 30 million deferred.
I think it was 50
Yes.
million.
And it was 60 million signing bonus.
$64 million signing bonus.
It's a good deal for Tucker. Tucker's what, 29? It's a good deal for him. It's a really good deal for the Dodgers because it fills one of the last needs that they had, right? They needed another outfield bat, another guy that can play. They really have a deficiency in left field defensively with Teoscar. Teo is not great.
I was going to say, so you're essentially trading away.
No.
Teoscar.
No. Hell no. No. He stays. We love Teo. He's a big part of the culture of the team.
Well, you can love, but now you've got a glut.
No, you put him in right field, you're fine. That's fine. You need it. In left field, you're fine.
Yes.
You needed a right fielder.
I do not want to see Teo in right field
because
ever
you used
again.
to have Mookie in right, and going from Mookie to Teo in right field, that doesn't feel good, right? But when you put Tucker out there, now that feels really good. So it's a great move for the Dodgers, who have only made really 2 moves this offseason, right? Between him and Diaz, the 2 needs that they had. This is not an outrageous contract. It's a good contract.
Outrageous in the sense that from an AAV perspective, he's one of the highest paid players.
Yeah, when you look at it
baseball.
that way, but it's a 240 commit. I mean, it's not the 350 or 400 million that the Blue Jays were trying to give him and other stuff. So you're not locked into him for 10 years. You don't want to do that at 29. I mean, so I thought it was a smart contract.
So the Blue Jays and the Mets ostensibly offered him maybe more money, but definitely a longer term deal.
Definitely longer.
And he turned it down because he wanted to play for the Dodgers.
Why wouldn't he?
Well, listen, I'm just saying because hang on a second. Based on how the fans react, I'm under the impression that the Dodgers go in the middle of the night like the U.S. military into Venezuela, and they kidnap the players they want and force them by gunpoint to sign with the Dodgers.
That's exactly how it happens.
That's what I hear. So, yeah.
Okay, so the non-Dodger fan in the room. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, right. I think that this cements the point that I made leading up to the World Series conclusion, and one that I was left taken away, is that last World Series that the Dodgers won, their back-to-back, I think that cements, this cements the fact that the Dodgers will become the new hated empire. The new evil.
I agree with that.
Well, I mean, they already are.
I think they're even more.
Well, they already are
so
with where the winning is consistent, where they are consistently getting the next best free agent. So I think that's where we are on the PR standpoint. If we talk about where it actually goes on the field, I dare say, though, that you guys are just completely yada-yadaing the fact that they still have that this does not address what was the biggest weakness of the Dodgers.
They already addressed that.
I mean,
they had a closing.
Well, let him finish.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying that they needed where they did not necessarily need help in the hitting. One could argue that just their players getting right, Mookie Betts having a better year, in theory, being healthy all year, as opposed to entering the year and feeling like he never fully got back to that.
Right.
Freddie Freeman having an offseason for the first time in forever. I do worry on 2 fronts, whether or not, one, I think that you can always add pitching. Like you can never have enough pitching. I think that there is a point to be made to where you already have a lot of hitting. I think that potentially one thing that I would worry about specifically outside of addressing the pitching needs that the Dodgers have up and down, whether it be, well, I guess not starting perhaps.
What pitching needs?
What they need more bullpen, man.
What?
They need more.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding.
We'll talk about that in a second.
We'll
Go
talk
ahead and
about
finish
that.
your point.
And then finally, Tucker is getting more injured with more rapid succession. And I worry on a team that welcomes talented yet injury-prone players. They are doing it yet again. And while they are the best at managing it, one wonders whether or not they will put themselves, whether or not that they are able to weather the storm that comes during the regular season, as they've been able to just coast their way to getting a first round bye, be able to get to the postseason with aplomb ease, So I wonder whether or not if they start to slide and still are able to, on the backups and perhaps even the backups, be able to still merit a postseason berth. You start to get into pressurized situations far closer, and then you stress out your pitching staff already.
So I have an interesting comment. So, and I'll ask you this because I kind of know the answer, but I want to hear your opinion on it, Ralph.
Okay.
and you're welcome to sit and listen to the conversation, Phil, or participate if you'd like. So the Dodgers lost some things with this deal.
Okay.
Right? They did lose. So, for example, if you sign a player who rejected a qualifying offer and you're over the competitive balance tax, aka the luxury tax, you lose a couple things. So you lose. In this case, the Dodgers lost their their highest draft pick. They lost
for next year, right?
Yeah, and they lost money from the international bonus pool.
Right.
So this actually hurts them long term because then they lose the ability to plan for the future. So as I was thinking about this, I'm thinking, you know what? This looks like the Dodgers are truly thinking shorter term at this deal. They're playing for now because in order to sign Tucker and to sign Diaz, that costs them in draft picks, international signing, other areas, right?
It does.
So it's not. This isn't just we paid them a bunch of money. The way that the contracts and everything is set up in MLB, you actually give up things in order to do that. So. And I think too, when you're talking about the competitive bounce tax, what did you say earlier on during our meeting? You said that what was the Dodgers hit on the luxury
tax? This is going
tax?
to push them into a $400+ million competitive balance tax, which is just even dwarfs the second and third highest on that list.
Yeah,
I can find the actual numbers.
And that goes to all the other teams. And what are they going to do? The most of them are going to sit on it because that's what they do and why we're in the spot in the first place. And so that got me thinking about the competitive balance tax. So if you don't know, obviously this is the big conversation, is that the MLB does not have a salary cap like the NFL does. However, they have something called, it's kind of a soft cap. If you spend above a certain arbitrary amount that's decided every year before the season, you end up paying a tax on top of it that has to go to other teams. And the amount you're over the salary cap or the CBT determines how much you pay in luxury tax.
It gets multiplied.
So as of last year, of course, with 30 teams, I'll let you real quick. Guess who? So there were 9 teams who spent. Okay, so let me back up a second. The CBT for last year was $241 million. So let's say treat it like a salary cap-ish. Okay, how many teams were over that? Well, I said 9.
You said 9.
Which
right?
teams were that? Sorry, let me try that again. Guess what 9 teams are over the salary cap? Or the CBT?
Yankees.
Well, Dodgers, obviously. Besides the Dodgers, so you got
Dodgers,
8. Yankees, yes.
Mets,
yes.
Cubs.
Padres?
Cubs were not over it. Padres definitely were.
Yeah.
Blue Jays.
Blue Jays were over. Hang on. No, the Blue Jays were not.
They were.
Yeah, they were. Number 5.
Yeah.
So Dodgers 1, Mets 2, Yankees 3, Blue Jays 5, Padres 6. You're missing a couple more.
Giants? No,
Red
Giants
Sox?
weren't.
Not Giants. Yes, Red Sox at 7. Okay. I'll fill the rest of you for
Mariners?
time. No.
Astros.
So it's the Dodgers were at 417 million, Mets 346, Yankees 319, Phillies 314.
Phillies.
Blue Jays 286, Padres 270, Boston 248, Houston 245, Texas 241. So that leaves all these teams. So 9 teams were over the CBT limit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of the teams that weren't, would you like to hear what the lowest payroll was, or CBT threshold?
Wasn't it the A's?
A's.
Yeah, it was 58 million.
Yeah.
So Kyle
That's
Tucker,
criminal, honestly.
Kyle Tucker got a signing bonus bigger than the entire payroll of the Oakland A's, which and I'm going to call them the Oakland A's. I don't care if they move to Vegas. I don't care if they move to Peoria. They're still the Oakland A's. But this just goes to show the disparity in the league, right? So again, you somehow think that, and again, this is arbitrary because obviously this is not a full salary cap. But if there were a salary cap in baseball, the number would be 241, and there's a lot of teams that spend under that. So I don't know. It's just interesting.
Well,
fact
it goes
to
to
me.
show what you just said. It goes to show, number one, fine, put a salary cap in place, but you better put a floor in place.
Yeah.
too. And that floor should be $150 million.
Yeah,
That should
exactly.
be the minimum
Right,
you have
yeah.
to spend.
I agree.
The A's spending 50-something million, the Pirates spending 90 million. That is absurd and uncalled for, and they need to start spending more money.
Okay, so on that,
Competitively criminal.
on
It
that,
is
yes,
competitively criminal.
on that point, and I'll start with you, Phil, and you can guess. So, what did you say? What was the number you said?
150.
150.
Okay, let's say that you set the floor at 150. Which team was the lowest closest to that floor of the ones who spent last
That
year?
went above it?
Say, let's say that you implemented that last year. Which team was at the bottom of the 150, meaning they spent above $150? Listen,
Tigers?
no, it was the St. Louis Cardinals.
Where they spend 151.
They spent 153 on their.
Yeah.
That was their CBT the hit last year.
And at least they were
153.
competitive.
Yeah, they were competitive. So 1, 2. There were 10 teams last year. 10 teams that spent below your proposed floor.
That's ridiculous.
And that's why I agree. If you're going to put a cap, you best put a floor. And okay, so one other point I'll make, and I'll stop here. I'll let you all talk because I'm super hot on this topic because it just drives me nuts.
Okay.
So here's the thing, and this I'm looking at you, MLB. All right, all the rancor and yada 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 about the salary cap and the salary floor. You're probably going to get that next year, okay? Unless they decide to lock out, whatever the case is. All right, but let me tell you something. If you think that putting a salary cap is going to prevent the Dodgers from continuing their dynasty,
no,
I think you ought to reconsider that. Here's why. Because first of all, the Dodgers organization is considered by most objective standards the best organization in baseball from a facilities, like Dodger Stadium's old, I get it, but like from the spring training,
Actually, that's the low mark.
player development, how they treat their players, the analytics, the technology they have involved, how they manage their minor league system, the players they have. That's the best organization in baseball right now. Okay, some would argue the best organization in sports, but that's for others to argue. But you don't think that they've been planning for this for a while?
Of course they have.
You don't think that they're sitting here going, okay, there's probably going to be a salary cap, so we need to figure out how to maintain our competitive advantage in that world. So when the salary cap happens with the salary floor, Lord, I hope so. If that happens next year, and you really think that's going to prevent the Dodgers from continuing to dominate, don't you think if they're this good right now in this current system, what makes you think they're not going to be as good or maybe better in a different system? They're going to figure it out. And that's exactly what teams like the Kansas City Chiefs did in the NFL, the New England Patriots did in the NFL. Having a salary cap doesn't stop dynasties. Sorry, it just doesn't. So if you think as a fan, if you think this is the answer, not going to happen.
The Dodgers have already said this. Exactly what you're saying. They're like, bring on the cap. We're fine. We'll work within that cap, and they will.
I have two questions specifically Tucker related as we're going
back to okay.
Well, I think they can both expand because I think one leads to another. Ralph, do you believe that Tucker signed this deal with the intention in mind to utilize those opt-outs? Do you think, because obviously I suppose the best case scenario is that he plays well enough that he thinks he merits an opt-out, but do you believe that he is intending to opt out following next year? First question.
Oh, it'll be following 2 years.
Or following 2 years.
It's a 2 year.
No, I don't think that's his intention, but I think it's a smart clause in your contract.
Sure.
Because if you go there and it just doesn't work, you want an out, right? You don't want to commit somewhere for 10 years and all of a sudden after a year or two, you're like, I hate this. Like, who wants to live in Canada, right? I get it. Canada's never going to sign great players because nobody wants to play in Toronto.
Vladdy Jr.
I'm sorry. People don't want to play there. Vladdy will leave eventually. Watch.
Springer.
Tucker had to sit there and go, do I want to go to Toronto and live there or do I want to live in LA? I think I'll go live in LA. Give me a break, right? That's a no-brainer. But no, I don't think that's his intention, but I think it's a smart move on his part because you know what? What if we actually play the next couple of years? Because I know next year we're playing, this year we're playing, next year we might not, but let's say we do. And let's say with this team the Dodgers have in place, they win 2 more rings, which I think is very possible. They could have a 4-peat, a 3-peat, a 4-peat, a 5-peat the way they're going.
Wow.
They really could. If you look at what they do every year. Don't think Scooble's not going to be a Dodger next year because if he's out there, he will be. I'm telling you, he will be. Anyway, so he might say, okay, I want a couple more rings. Now I can go chase a major long-term. I can spend the next 8 years somewhere and get a lot of money right now and finish my career. I got my rings. I'm good.
Yeah,
So it's
right
possible.
Right now, he currently is a World Series champion
Yes, with the
Houston
Astros. Yes.
and entered the organization 1 year removed, so he doesn't have the stain.
He doesn't have the stain. That's the only reason they brought him over, because if he has the stain, they don't bring him.
Yeah, that's why they weren't into Springer.
It's true.
And then lastly, Neil, I'm curious. People have connected this, and especially when you say that the Dodgers organization is one of the smartest across sports, really, and that's international, whatever. They have said that this forecasts and makes all but certain that at least the Dodgers and their organization are believing that the lockout will happen, that there will be a lost season because of this deal almost specifically. Do you put any credence into that?
I mean, anything can happen. I do think, but to your point, though, I do kind of think this is just my opinion, okay, for entertainment purposes only. So calm down, internet. I think this is the Dodgers giving a big middle finger to basically Major League Baseball, not the Players Association, obviously, but to Manfred and all those guys. This is the Dodgers saying, you know what? Fine, you're going to do this. We're going to get ours right now in this season. If you're going to do this garbage, we're planning for it. But in the short term, we're going to give you the bird. That's what I think they're doing. I don't think it guarantees anything. Nothing is guaranteed. There is no guaranteed lockout. The group that's going to lock out is the Players Association.
Right.
They're the ones who aren't going to agree to the salary cap or floor because, and it's like, so you have the two competing things, right? We have greedy owners who want to keep all their money, and we have greedy players who want to take all the money, just hypothetically. That's where the balance is going to have to be. I don't necessarily think that they did this with knowing it's going to lock out baseball. I don't think that's a certainty. I think it's a high probability, and I think based on the current tenor of both sides, I think that's going to happen. But I do think that the Dodgers know that this is going to they knew the implications of this deal, I think, and I don't think they care because they're going to be ready for whatever happens.
And to Neil's point here, Ralph, I think that the fact that this is a short-term contract is one that, while it still, yes, utilizes the deferrals, that mechanic that they've been able to maneuver and utilize with a plumb degree because they have the resources to be able to utilize it, as well as the ingenuity to come up to utilize it in the manner in which they are. I do think the fact that this is a shorter contract also allows, to Neil's point, them having the ability to pivot should there be a salary cap, should there be changes in the CBA that is coming after the 2 years that he's able to opt out. At least you're only going to be punished for signing such a star quality player for 2 more years into a new CBA.
Couple things real quick. So number one, if this new CBA starts, I would think that your current setup has to be grandfathered into that somehow, some way. I don't think you're going to be able to penalize them day one. There's no way.
Oh, no.
So you can do whatever you want and be set up for the next 5 years within the new CBA. You're not going to be really bound to those rules, in my opinion.
Certainly.
Number two, you mentioned the Dodgers gave up things to sign Tucker.
Yeah.
Which is true. And the reason they're able to do that is the number one farm system in baseball, right? They have the best farm system in the league. They can give up things like international money and stuff like that because they're so stacked in the system. They're better than anyone else is even close to being. So they're set for the next 7 years. They have guys, when you draft a guy or get a guy in those things, you have them for 7 years. So you're set, and you don't have to give them more money if you don't want to. You don't have to. So I'm just saying they have that sitting in their suitcase at home. Just saying. You mentioned that, and I'm going to say this: all the Dodgers did this offseason was fill 2 needs they had. Like any other team that should want to do, hey, I've got 2 glaring needs. Let me go fill it. So they filled it with Edwin Diaz and with Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker is probably the 5th best player on that team.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the 5th best, right? He's a good player. When he's healthy, he's a 280, 30 home run, 100 RBI guy. But he's a good outfielder and he's got speed. He's about a 5th best player they have on that team. So not bad. They filled a need. Did they pay more? Yeah, because they could. They have that money.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
As I was going to say. Oh no, you finish your thought because I want to talk. I want to close out with some kind of related things.
You mentioned that this wasn't the area they should have went after because they have a need in the bullpen.
Yes.
Okay, so let me show you why that's ridiculous. Because it's ridiculous.
Okay.
Because we'll agree the starting rotation is the best in baseball.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that. We'll agree they have the top 2 or 3 closer in the game. And Edwin Diaz. He's top 3 in the game.
Currently, I mean, they're fickle, but yes.
Okay. So that was a big need they have.
Yeah.
Their bullpen right now, Tanner Scott.
Ugh.
He's coming back. He will not have the year he had last year. Blake Trinan
I
will
hope
not have
not.
the year he had last year.
I hope not.
Brusdar Gratterall is coming back from injury.
I love
Brock
me some
Stewart
I
coming
love
back
me
from
some
injury.
Gratterall.
Jack Dreyer, Ben Kasparius, Robo, Gavin Stone coming back. Henriquez coming back. Their bullpen is loaded. I mean, absolutely loaded.
With a lot of question marks.
No, those are not question marks. Jack Dreyer is not a question mark.
Well,
Kasparius is not a question mark. Rober's not a question mark. Stone's not a question mark. River
get what he's
Ryan's
saying.
coming back as well. Another great starter. They've got 2 or 3 starters coming back as well that they didn't have before.
I'm not worried about
I'm
starters.
saying they can have a 8 to 9 man rotation and have about 10 arms in the bullpen. Not to mention the 2 or 3 arms they still have at AAA that are going to be going back and forth. This bullpen's loaded, absolutely
I
loaded.
just hope it remains to be a good bullpen.
You don't need more bullpen. I mean, you really don't. There's so much competition there. That's this spring. There's going to be guys fighting for those spots, and there's going to be a lot of guys fighting for a few spots. And the Dodgers will send people up and down all season as needed. So, it's not a weakness anymore. So what you needed was a closer. You have to have that guy, that one guy that hey, that's my man that comes in at the end, and they more than got that in Diaz.
They've got a guy earmarked for the role. Doesn't mean necessarily that he will produce in that role.
He's only produced every year, but okay.
The great equalizer is injuries, and we'll see if the injury bug bites the Dodgers again like it did last year.
What beats injury? Depth. What do the Dodgers have? Depth. Last 2 years, big injury bug. Last 2 years, World Series champions.
That depth that they needed to then dip into the starting rotation to get to. But I understand.
Anyway, go ahead. You said you wanted to finish
see.
it.
We'll see. Yeah. Now we'll see. I get what you're saying, Ralph, and I get what your comment. I feel kind of like how Phil does. We'll see for sure. But there's 2 things to close this out. I think we've made our points, and I think we're all in agreement on how we feel about this from our perspectives. There's 2 things I want to say. Number 1, and I'm looking at you, Dodger fans, right in the eye. You do remember that Kyle Tucker was an Astro on the same team as Carlos Correa, as Jose Altuve, as George Springer. Are we going to love him as much as we would love if any of those guys came? I remember a couple years ago when there was talk of Carlos Correa coming to the Dodgers, and the word was basically, no, we don't think he's a good fit. Translation, the fans would boo him on our team. So why aren't you giving the same shade to Kyle Tucker?
Well,
he wasn't on
why you all accept? I'm not. You're going to give a logical answer, and I don't want that. I want to hear. I want to hear Dodger fans.
I don't want logic.
Dodger fans. Are you going to how do you feel about it? And then so that's my first one.
I will say there is one more worry about Kyle Tucker. Supposedly, there are rumors going around that he has a club cancer.
He's a what?
A
club cancer. That he's not a good clubhouse
I heard
guy.
he's really quiet.
Well, here's the thing. That clubhouse right now is so strong and so
it's
tight.
Very good, yes.
That's going to negate
We'll find
that.
out.
And if it's the case, they'll get rid of him. So here's the other thing, and this has nothing to do with the fans or anything. You know who besides people saying, well, the baseball lost. You ruined baseball. The Indians are ruining baseball. Let's put that aside. You know who's the loser in all of this? You know who the real loser in all of this?
Phil.
The Oakland A's.
Cody Bellinger.
He is.
Yeah.
I wish I could play a Sarah McLachlan song. Oh, Dodger fans, you were so hoping for a Cody Bellinger reunion.
No.
But you know what? The problem that Cody Bellinger has is his agent, Scott Boras, who wanted way too much money for skill sets that don't match. And I guarantee you that the Dodgers were probably like, you know what? We love you, Cody, but
if you're Bellinger,
Scott Boras, not going to help. Oh, Kyle Tucker's available.
Did you see the Yankees' reaction to all this?
Well, the Yankees' reaction.
Did they lower it there?
To Bellinger, they said, the offer we have on the table, that's it. You ain't getting any more money. If you don't want it, see ya.
Yeah, exactly. So
he's not going to get more money.
I think
he
the loser
before Tucker, honestly,
because now he has nobody.
Should have.
He has no choice
exactly.
now.
Bichette was going to get whatever he was going to get prior to Kyle Tucker and be safe. But somebody like Bellinger, who's at best your third option to address that specific need,
he lost.
He should not have waited.
He did.
And then real quick, Bichette to the Mets. That felt very
pivot. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that girl said no, so I'll go to the prom with her. That's what that felt like. Because Bichette, yeah, I mean, Bichette's
The Mets
Yeah,
are
but-
acquiring the second best All-Star team.
They're trying.
Like whenever
Yeah.
you miss out on the main guy, man, we got the strong number 2.
Yeah, and I feel bad for the Blue Jays because I know he had a good chemistry with Vladdy. I know you're a horrible person.
I'm
that's why.
laughing at the Blue Jays because they're on the internet going, we still have a good team. No, you don't.
Well, listen.
We got Dylan Cease. I'm like, so
Listen. Yeah. Well, Dylan. Yeah, I
Cease to
suppose.
be relevant.
Wah wah wah.
that's what they're banking on now. They got Dylan Cease.
I just
really.
I think Bo Bichette. I think that was the dominoes were going to fall once Tucker went. Everything else is going to happen. So I think that was huge, and I do think that it's a good fit for the Mets. I just hope that Juan Soto isn't the club cancer that people may have been thinking he is. I don't know if that's really accurate to say about him, but ultimately they've got some other issues in that organization. I don't know if Bo Bichette's going to fix it, but it sure is a lot better. I think it makes the sting of losing Edwin Diaz and who else, Pete Alonso, a little. People are forgetting about that now because of him. So,
Hey,
good
one
for
last
them.
baseball thing, and then we can move on. But the top 5 spenders in free agency this year, right? Right away, you'd think it's the Dodgers. It's not. Number one spender is the Blue Jays. They spent $337 million this year. Hold on. And $277 in guarantees because they got Okamoto. Remember, they signed him to that 4-year contract.
Mhm.
This is so disingenuous.
But it's not. Okay,
This
I'll give you the
is
top 5. Blue Jays are number 1, 337. Dodgers number 2, 314. Philadelphia is number 3 at 242. Chicago at 228
doing in the room.
is 4. And Baltimore is 5. Dodgers are not the number 1 spending team this
stop
offseason.
it.
They're not. They're just not.
It's because of the deferrals, Mike.
I don't care what it's because of. They haven't
Shohei
spent
Ohtani
the most
making
money
$1
this year.
million annually, while in the back of the room, at the back of those, 7 years later now?
It's the Blue Jays spending more than anybody.
stop.
They are. Tell me they're not.
By the way,
$337 million this offseason.
if we go to the comment section here, the chat line that we've got,
Go ahead.
Rich from Facebook is saying that as a Cub fan, I've never heard of Kyle Tucker being a clubhouse problem.
I agree with him. I've never heard that either.
There were rumors. I again, unsubstantiated. I can find out who the guys were that said it. But
Can you cite your source? Can you dig down into that and call them and see if they can go on the record?
His source
Who
is him.
cares? He's probably not.
Also, I mean, to be fair, I think even if you don't have the cheating associated with you, anytime you leave Houston and you're part of that organization, you automatically are.
I think that's true, and I would say I
It's a little
retract.
dirty.
Just like
I retract my previous statement. I mean, I don't know. I have never, like, of all the people that were part of the Astros, I never really in my mind put Kyle Tucker, whatever his name is, Kyle Tucker.
Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, I was going to
I
say.
kind of like that better.
I never put Kyle Tucker into that group, so
Hey,
I guess
Kyle Tucker.
I guess in my heart I don't believe that. So we'll see.
So Bitter Dolphin fan also says, I'm with Neil with calling the A's the Oakland A's. Remember the A's in the 70s had a specialist pinch runner named Herb Washington.
I don't remember that.
He's so sweet and stealing it.
The Oakland A's were a legendary franchise, and they will never not be the Oakland A's. And I just what John Fisher has done to that franchise. Yeah, exactly. Never mind. I would get Hannah Waddington to do shame any day on that team. That's fine.
She's got a great voice.
Yeah, she does.
Blissful Hayes is on there. Says, "Good morning,
among other
weekend
things.
warriors." Good morning, Blissful Hayes. Is it true Jeffrey won the Premier League? Yes, he did.
He did, and I just recently talked to the man, and he was touting that.
Yeah, that's his big thing right now.
Yeah, he was puffing out his
and
chest.
he should have been kicked out because he did finish last season, but he found a loophole at the beginning of the year
That's
to
right.
get back in.
Yes, he did.
So it was a loophole he used, Blissful Hayes. That was a bunch of garbage.
So is that kind of like the Dodgers using deferments
Kind of.
as the
Jeffrey's a
legal
good
loopholes?
loopholer.
Wow.
Ask Phil. He went to lunch with him.
Oh, he looped a hole. All right.
All right, so let's switch gears to the NBA because there is the
All
trade
right.
deadline that's approaching on the 5th.
This is where I'm going to start playing some online cribbage.
All right,
You guys have a
Neil's
good
going to the
talk there.
bathroom.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
So, Ja Morant, right? So that's there's a big rumor that he's going to be traded from Memphis. Have you heard anything about this? Phil, our NBA expert.
So yeah, he's out right now, and he's probably on the trade deadline. I think with the easy equivalent for Ja Morant will be Trae Young, where Ja Morant has so tanked his trade value,
Mhm.
and it is truly earth-shattering on a conversation that even just 2 years ago we would have said, well, what just arsenal and load of picks would you have to go to like Oklahoma City Thunder in order to produce a trade package worthy of John Morant? And now you're looking at really just salary cap implications. Like part of the reason when we look at Trae Young, why he got traded for a bag of chips is mostly because the Washington Wizards, whenever you look at their contracts, they have so many young guys that they actually want to play that he was the lone person that they could pay to, you talk about a salary cap floor, for them to meet the minimum without having to break up their own team and get somebody. So whenever you look at John Morant, don't look at places necessarily where, oh, I would salivate at John Morant's talent alongside perhaps the New York Knicks. No. Anybody who has a team that they are fine with, they are not going to have it. Yeah, anywhere that he goes, really at this point, darn near just going to be a salary cap dump. And that is astounding coming from who we thought could not only be a perennial all-star, but somebody who you had true potential, true thoughts of being a face of the league.
Is he in a riff with the head coach? Is that true? Or is that rumor?
No, he really is. And it's more so not anything. Well, I guess it's one and the same, but really the coach's playing style is something that I don't know if you would love or just hate here, Ralph, because the way that this coach specifically came up, I believe he was in some European league and came up with a system that he won a couple stuff with, where essentially no starter on his team gets more than like 3 minutes on the court. And the thought process is that while you might get your same minutes that you otherwise would, you're not out there. You're not. It's almost like what we've done to pitching, to where you're a starter and you're not going to pitch a complete game during the regular season and barely at all in the postseason.
Load management.
Absolutely. But what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to get those starters and get people like shooting like a bullet, shooting like a Russell Westbrook,
right? And
just go fully out for those 3 minutes. You're out. So that way we can get the best of you for those short bursts. And we're going to continue to just run and run and run. And in theory and logic, it works. And even in the times that they've been able to go without John Morant, it's been successful to a degree. However, mix that with the NBA and their high dependent and also contracts that go along with stats. And you're going to find that if you depress a star's stats and have that mess with their money, that's where the friction can really come alongside. It's a fascinating functionality disagreement to where you're saying, hey, almost again to the Dodgers, where can you come in as a pitcher, as a normal starting pitcher, come in to be a reliever, even though that's not your role? Can you lessen and depress your role in order to fit the team and their success? And this is where the beginning of the friction happened.
Gotcha. Okay. I don't like John Morant.
Most don't. I mean,
where does he fit? Where would he go? What do you think? I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
could he come to the Suns?
No, because they have too many guards right now. Like you look at Dylan Brooks, he's doing fantastic. Like he's actually made a player of himself and not just a rube.
But I heard rumors about him getting traded too.
Dylan Brooks, it's possible. I mean, anybody on the Phoenix Suns right now are such a wonderful story in that they are a plucky little team. They're a
plucky little group.
Yeah, they're a plucky little group whose talent is certainly one that is not going to win a championship, but gosh darn it, they're going to claw and fight their way to make you earn each and every victory. Okay. And there's something admirable in that. And they have a young group that right now, if they have a logjam at guard, one possible player who's honestly earning himself an all-star appearance is Dylan Brooks. He's becoming more than just a feel-good story. He's actually becoming a player who merits the attention the media has given him, because he went from just a irritant on a team that really just locks down somebody with annoyances and what have you. He's now actually finding an offensive game that allows him to be on the court longer. And he's become the guy that they're going to for free throws late in games, of like technical free throws. That's insane.
He's still a dick.
Oh, absolutely. He's again the Chris Paul of this current generation, possibly.
Which I guess is a good thing.
Yeah. Whenever you look at teams that could use John Morant, possibly like a team like the LA Clippers, where they're looking to just shake things up.
They can use anything right now.
Yeah, they could use anything right now, and they have old, and they could sell something along those lines. Possibly like a Dallas Mavericks, which I mean could get us into
whole different conversation. We'll touch on that in a second.
Trading lemons for lemons here, and depending on, I don't even know.
Blissful Hayes is saying, how's that theory working for the Grizzlies as far as wins?
Well, again, it's it's one where if you have, no matter what it is, you have a massive part of your salary cap, which is John Morant, and he's not vibing with what it is. That's a massive portion of your talent pool that is not buying in and not able to contribute to win. So, I mean, yes, right now, are they number 11 in the West, which means that they are out of even the play-in spot? Yes, but they're only a game back from the Clippers, and the Clippers have had a fiasco of a year. So it's all relative.
Okay, how about Jonathan Kuminga? He's reportedly requested a trade from the Warriors. Yeah,
which
because he's not getting the playing time he feels he deserves, and he feels like Kerr is kind of passing him up, just not kind of pushing him to the end of the bench.
Jonathan Kuminga is such a fascinating case study of where you get drafted, and understanding your role is so important, because specifically with Jonathan Kuminga, he and a lot of other places would not be forced to be behind what at first was the Splash Brothers duo, which you weren't going to replace either, really. And then now the role that he fits is so they would love to have him be a six man. And if he was content with that role, he'd be fantastic in it. However, because of the way that a salary cap works and where he was able to sign and make the most money and all these poison pill contracts, yada, 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 he was unable to get the deal and a starting role within the NBA where he wanted this offseason. And because of that, he's almost been forced to put his tail between his legs and come back to the Warriors. So this even request of a trade is just so unsurprising. It's been nonstop. You've seen it where him and Steve Kerr have gone and butted heads to where he's been benched in important pivotal playoff games, to where they've needed talent, and certainly his talent on a depleted roster full of old guys where they could definitely use his minutes. And he just feels like he's being stymied, and where at times a veteran coach is like, I'm not going to depend on and give minutes to a guy when we are looking to win a championship and win series.
This sounds more about player ego than it does anything, which I think is a very common theme in the NBA more than any other sport.
It's why it's very, very, very rare whenever you see a San Francisco 49ers bridge from the old regime to the new one in Steve Young and Joe Montana.
Sure.
In the NBA, it's so hard to find that, to where you see like, oh, this is the old aging championship level team that's going to hand it off to the next generation. The Warriors tried that whenever they had not only Kuminga, but they also had the center that they drafted that I'm blanking on right now, that he's already been traded to like the Blazers and everybody else. That was like their number 2 overall draft pick. They tried it. They tried to make a landing pad and have a handoff. They've been unsuccessful, and now because of that attempt failing, they are forced to potentially, and they really don't want to, take pennies on the dollar for what that attempt was.
Right.
And in Jonathan Kuminga, I mean, he tried in an offseason where I feel like it would have been much easier to find a place. Now with a trade deadline looming, unless the Warriors are willing to take back a loss, which it by all means does not seem like something that they've been at all willing to do because of their salary cap situation, it makes far more sense for them to trade him, and it doesn't look like potentially they'll be able to find something with him.
Okay, last one. But wait, Bitter Dolphin fans on the text line says Grizzlies have a better record when Ja is out of the lineup,
because you have everybody buying in.
Yeah,
everybody.
So that tells you everything you need to know right there.
Exactly. And when Ja's in there, you got to kind of follow whatever he's feeling. So
let's go to Dallas. Let's talk about Anthony Davis. So I love Anthony Davis. I really do. As a Laker, I just loved Anthony Davis. He's a great player when healthy. His biggest problem was always staying on the court, right? The last couple of years in LA, he was able to actually stay on the court, and they saw the impact of it, right? But since that trade to Dallas, which we talked about when it happened, we get Luka, and Luka's what we thought he was, and then some, right? I mean, he's amazing. And Anthony Davis is never playing. And he's hurt again.
Have you seen the list of injuries that he's gotten from when he's in?
Ridiculous.
It's like there's an eye, there's a hamstring, there's a hand, there's a knee, I think, in there. There's a foot. I mean, it's crazy.
They're saying now he's going to be out most of the season.
And that's if he does not. That's if he opts not to get surgery, which could then lead towards maybe a playoff push.
Good luck with that.
Honestly, here's.
Wait, is this the worst trade ever? Luka for Anthony Davis.
It's still too early.
Is it though?
It's a bad trade.
There's
It was a bad
rumors-
trade the day it started.
There's trade rumors about Anthony Davis again.
But you can still recoup some of that. That's part of that. What happens if in this trade, by proxy, by the fact that they were able to trade Anthony Davis and by getting the chance to trade Anthony Davis away, they pull what an Oklahoma City Thunder pulled, which was back in the day, they traded Paul George, and that netted them Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and also drafted them a championship core.
That was a big deal for them. Yeah.
It is possible for it not to be the worst trade. It doesn't, I don't see, like, it's very small. The percentages are very small.
looks bad
and we're
right
getting
now.
further down the tier list of bad trades. But you're absolutely right. It has that potential to be the worst one, and it's already not good. If you're a team trading for Anthony Davis, and this is what I find interesting, is that you're trading him, and you also you essentially have to make this trade wanting to extend him.
Yeah, you have to.
And what I don't know is what his market is, like as far as an extension specifically goes. Because here's the thing: let's take a look at this. Like, let's say it's not possible, but let's say the Nuggets wanted Anthony Davis to team up with Jokic for a playoff push specifically this year. I think depending on what you could give up, and it didn't break up your team, you'd love that. Like that's a
if
fully
he can
made
get on the court. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, again, yes. But if you were to have defense meets Jokic's offense meets everything,
Yeah, agreed.
That even if
It would make them instantly one of the best.
even if
I agree.
you look at the San Antonio Spurs, people are salivating over the Greek Freak over there. You would have all but the same effect if you were to have Anthony Davis for a playoff push. The problem being is that you can't rely on the health, right? So whenever you're looking at what that extension even is, because if you can get a team-friendly extension to say, you know what, we'll take the highs of Anthony Davis when he's here, but because of the minimum or the lower and lessened salary cap that he's going to be hitting against our percentages, if you're able to get him at a more team-friendly deal, you could potentially utilize him as a starter who's like something along the lines of like a DeAndre Ayton, to where like when we can get him, except for the fact of it's not whenever you can get him like a good performance out of him, it's more so when can you get him on the court.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
I don't know what that team is. Like maybe the Milwaukee Bucks are feeling so desperate.
Clippers.
I don't know, but
He fits their model because they always hurt.
That's good, but he's not old. He's not old enough.
I mean,
he could still potentially make an all-star game, within the next
I'd take
3
him back
years.
on the Lakers if we had to give nothing up for him.
If you had to give nothing up for him, and also you got him forward to where he wasn't affecting your salary cap for for too much money.
Take him back in a second.
Yeah, maybe even the Boston Celtics, right? Like a team that, in theory, while yes, they are number 2 in the Eastern Conference this year, they were supposed to. But remember, they were supposed to be a tanking team this year. Like all they had was Jalen Brunson. Oh my God, Shannon, I love you. Shannon's
going after Phil now.
Yeah, absolutely. And also,
Look, the
NBA,
Shannon, the NBA segment. He's asking if this is the Phil Amrine show. It is when he's home. The NBA segment is all about Phil because he's our NBA expert.
NBA guy.
If you notice that Neil has turned into Mr.
I'm about to win my second game of online cribbage.
You remind me of a co-host we used to
cribbage.
have right now.
No. That here I'll remind you of him right now. Ravens.
Oh,
Yeah, but at least I'm not over here sulking. I'm at least playing cribbage and being productive.
absolutely. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all that we needed to address on the NBA.
Yeah, that was good though because it's the trade deadline's heating up.
Yes,
There's going to
absolutely.
be some moves, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm really curious to see if the Lakers are going to move because they've got some guys that they could move.
Austin's in like every trade.
I don't think Austin moves. Period.
I think that they value him too much.
Yeah, there's no way.
Because the one, of course, that is running the rumors right now is, speaking of the Memphis Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson Jr., Triple J, for Austin Reeves. And what's funny is that you ask him that last year when he's an all-star, when he's playing up to his potential. Of course, yeah, he's like a defensive player candidate of the year candidate. You would of course take that. This year, I think for good reason and argument, you could argue that Austin Reeves, in spite of his health injury, at least when he's on the floor, he is so much more pivotal and so much more impactful that you would rather have him than Jaren Jackson.
And the organization loves Austin Reeves.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and LeBron loves Austin Reeves. He ain't going anywhere.
Well,
Dalton Connect, I can see them trading him or somebody
absolutely.
else, but they're not going to ever trade Austin Reeves. This is not happening.
Hey guys, what's going on? I just got back. What are you guys
we were
talking
about to talk about the college football playoff because we have a
Oh, I see.
championship in the
we do have
time that
chance.
in the time that we have. First of all, First of all,
First of all,
why is it taking so damn long for this to happen?
Yeah, well, I thought it was going to be this week,
Well,
but it's next
Monday.
week. It's Monday. That's too far.
that's stupid.
I get it. You're trying not to compete with the NFL.
Well, are they
stupid.
having a presser week where they're doing kind of stuff like that?
Yeah,
kind of like the NFL does?
Yeah, they're trying to sell up the Hard Rock Cafe.
See, what they should have done is laid it out to where the college football
Yeah.
championship game is the weekend before the Super Bowl. You've got a dead weekend there. Why not put it?
Pro Bowl.
Let's stretch it out even longer.
Screw
Like,
that
let's
Pro
do
Bowl,
that.
right?
That's fantastic. No, it should be done by now. They
No,
should have
I-
played this game
No,
already.
You'd move the schedule back more though, so where you can have NFL playoff games and college football playoff games going on at the same
No.
time. That'd be phenomenal.
No, I object.
Oh, you
I
can
object,
all
Your
you want.
Honor. That's crazy.
You know what? Go to the Pop-Tart Bowl.
By the way, is this the Philip? Oh, you would go with me if I,
would
had tickets.
absolutely,
You
and I
know
would
you
eat
would.
Pop-Tarts, and I don't care that I have.
If
gluten
we had,
issues.
if we were on the sidelines, if we had sideline passes for that game,
Where's the
that'd be
gluten-free Pop-Tarts, by the way?
Okay, you know what?
Getting toasted.
You're a liberal.
They could be like the whiter Stanton Pop-Tart. Did you call me a liberal?
I just did.
Wow.
Speaking of the actual game,
Yeah.
Phil's over here.
I'm
I'm
trying
really
to talk
uncomfortable
to
right
Gary.
now.
I'm sorry to interrupt your
go to my-
conversation. I'm trying to do a show.
We're talking
Gotta have
gluten-free
my-
Pop-Tarts, and you're talking.
This is the Philip Amarine show.
Go ahead, Philip Emerine.
Yes, this one's for you, Shannon. Yes. Is there any more disrespectful thing to where you could somehow have a home team in their home stadium with a home fan base that is ravenous for this? This isn't just a fully gluttonous and filled up to the brim with their accolades and victories of New England Patriots or Chiefs dynasty.
Right.
This is a Miami, the U, hyped up team that is going to just be surrounding that stadium. And you have them not only the underdog, but you have them like by now, I think it's 8.5 points under to Indiana. That's crazy. Is there
Yeah.
no chance that Miami's going to win this? I think there is.
So here's what I see. To your point about the fans, I don't think it's like that, because I think here's what happened. So the U, as we used to call them, had ravenous fans back in the day, right? Obviously with Ray Lewis and all the other great players they had back in the day. So here's what happened, right? When they found out Miami was going to the national championship, these people who were fans back in the day are what, in their 50s, 60s now?
Yeah, they're still young. Yeah.
It's like they oh my God. So it's like
What?
it's like they saw the bat signal in the sky and they got out of their walkers and they walked out of their retirement homes and said, "Oh my gosh, look, it's the U is back. It's time to go to another bowl game." And they got in their Ubers and they had their kids drive them to the stadium and they got their walkers out and they're like, "Do we still know how to do the booger sugar? Because that's what we got to do for
funny. I was
this
gonna go booger
game."
sugar. I love
Right.
booger sugar.
So that's what I
Saying the
feel like's
word.
happened. There's a lot of
Why are they-
alum.
Why are they in walkers in their 50s and 60s?
Let me tell you, if they're on the booger sugar, they're not in water.
Well, you know, they
They're runners.
partied pretty hard back in the day. But
And they're in
so
retirement
I
homes?
think there's a lot of
It is Florida.
Miami alum who are reminiscing about this game.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we're back. The U is back. So I'll be curious to see.
I got to tell you though, even an old veteran, just version of a lot of the U players, that's still a good. Like you get, not only do you get Ray Lewis, you get Ed Reed,
No, you get mug shots because every one of them has
Oh my
mug shots. Do they not?
you get Michael Irvin on the sideline,
Mug
taking
shot.
off,
yeah.
taking off his belt. Like he doesn't bring in a backup belt.
Michael
he
Irvin.
has
Reed
to have
mug
one
shot.
hand on the pant
Ray Lewis
hole
mug shot.
loophole,
Michael Irvin mug shot.
and the other hand whipping a Gatorade a jug over there, because really the insinuation is that it's a kid, but it's got the jersey of the opposing team.
But
He's
you
just-
know Michael
just
Irvin's doing
spanking that
doing
thing.
lines in the tunnel. You can see it when he's out there.
He's
dude. That
reliving
guy's
his-
as high as a kite.
Man
He's
is still
reliving
yoked
his
up,
glory.
though.
He's reliving his glory days.
He's
God
selling
bless.
he's selling the booger sugar to all those alumni.
He's on
He
all
probably
fours
is,
on the
actually.
side, like barking like a
Oh, so you
ravenous
can't
dog
say
over
that. Now
there,
we're
man.
getting sued by somebody.
I
It was a joke for entertainment purposes only. Our opinion. Don't sue us.
I gotta tell you, man, if there is not a team that is more hyped, more just
Are
because
you going to say Indiana?
here's the thing, Old Dominion, that was a style that the U, Miami, did not fare well against in the regular season. That is the exact same style that they played against Louisville and SMU, and that's how they lost. They were able to overcome that. The style that Indiana plays is an upfront physical team.
Mhm.
That team is going to pound the ground and be able to
Pound
make
someone.
sure that you feel their girth the entire game.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
It's very
That-
specific.
That Indiana Husk, you're going to feel that shucking all night.
Let's give our predictions because I'm sick of this already.
I love it.
I don't think this is even a game. I think Indiana is going to destroy Miami. It's not even going to be close.
Wow.
It'll be close for maybe a quarter. But I think Indiana's way too much. They've got too much. They're at a different level than anyone else in college football this year. They will blow out Miami. What's your prediction?
My prediction?
What's your prediction?
My prediction.
No, I want your
Before
prediction.
you give me your prediction, on the text line, Blissful Hayes says, I really enjoy the Philip Amrine show.
Gosh darn
Let's
it.
go, Bears.
Oh,
He must be
man, you have
hazing
a
right now, but I
fan.
love it. I
Go
love
ahead.
it. The U will cover.
Oh my goodness.
So they'll lose.
It's so hard, man. I don't.
That's what she said.
I think that man, Mario Cristobal is just rife for an upset. As far as he is always able to throw. I think weirdly enough, though, what gives me hope is that the U has faced a team like this. Like again, what I can't get out of my head is that the Ohio State University lost to both of these teams, but in different, less impressive fashion. Like the Miami beat the crap out of Ohio State, and Indiana was only barely able to.
But you're picking Indiana. You're talking
Miami's gonna cover.
all this garbage, but then it's like, well,
Miami's
Indiana's
going
gonna
to
win.
cover. What more do you want from me? You want me to actually say that
Say it.
Yes, I
Miami's
want
going to
to say
win?
it.
Say
Say
Indiana's
it.
going to win.
He won't do it.
Say it.
Miami's going to win.
I'll
Oh, you're such. That's not your pick.
I'll say it.
You're going to say it?
You want to put these picks in our pick contest?
Oh, wow.
Of course you don't, because then you're taking Indiana.
Oh, wow.
Well, here's what I did put $5 on just now on DraftKings, who doesn't sponsor us, but if you ever want to, give us a call.
Direct from the cribbage line.
From the cribbage line. Oh, I won both my games. It was good. I almost skunked both opponents.
What
That
do you
was
do? What do you got?
fantastic. Here's what I have. We're talking about home team, home field, home crowd. We're talking about the underrated, underappreciated, overlooked, we got a chip on our shoulder, University of Miami. It doesn't matter. You're going to lose. Now, here's what I do have, though, as I have Miami. No, not Miami. Excuse me. I'm going to talk about them. I have Indiana covering. It's right now, according to DraftKings, it's 8.5. They're 8.5 favorites. I'm covering that. And in a little bit of a nod to Phil, I am picking the under. I don't think they're going to blow them out, but I think they're going to cover.
Yes,
So
because both of these teams are looking to just run the ball and be nasty.
I've got Indiana covering, and I have the under, and $5 might make me $20.
All right. So we're going to best news in college football this week. Dante Moore deciding to come back for another year.
It's good news for him.
Good news for him because he would have killed himself in the
Oh,
ground.
100%.
So that's hour one. Hour two is going to be all about the NFL. We are going to be talking divisional round. We got some different things to discuss, but it's all about football and, of course, our picks. And we'll give you the updated standings of our picks. They've changed a little bit. Stick around for hour two of the Weekend Warriors. I promise, no more NBA.
No more baseball.
Kyle, cook that thing.
Hey, Ralph, got another solar question for you.
Okay, but did you check out the Harmon Solar podcast first?
The what?
The Harmon Solar Podcast. We put new episodes up twice a month that teach you all the things you ever wanted to learn about solar. We discuss things like how solar works, the roofing, sales process, demand management, everything solar.
Show like this needs some real smart thinkers, huh?
Well, yeah,
So you got some really great guests then, huh?
almost every show.
Is it on Spotify?
Yep,
iTunes?
yep, just search it everywhere. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast. Go check it out at harmonsolar.com.
After you cook, are you staring at a pan full of grease? Pan dust turns hot, messy grease into dry, scoopable crumbs in seconds. Sprinkle, stir, let it set, wipe it out, done. Fewer towels, cleaner counters, and yes, happy drains. Want to see it work? Open YouTube and search Pan Dust Absorbs Grease, or go straight to our channel at Pan Dust Absorbs Grease. Watch a quick demo, hit subscribe, and share it with your bacon-obsessed friends. It works on cast iron, non-stick, baking sheets, even grill pans. It's plant-based, no harsh smell, and cleanup is weirdly satisfying. Make cleanup the easiest part of cooking. Pan dust absorbs grease.
Game day, date night, or a midweek bite, make the Spot Neighborhood Grill your go-to. Sizzling burgers, crispy wings, street-style tacos, fresh salads, and shareables that disappear fast. Add an ice-cold draft or a classic cocktail, and you've got your new neighborhood favorite. Wall-to-wall TVs so you won't miss a play, a patio made for Arizona evenings, and that friendly local vibe you love. Find us at 2 Valley locations, Scottsdale at 18,251 North Pima Road, and Glendale on 5350 West Bell Road. Dine in, grab takeout, or order ahead. Find us at thespotgrill.com for the menu, hours, directions, and daily specials. Again, that's thespotgrill.com. The Spot Neighborhood Grill. Great food, great people.
Turn your backyard into the best seat in the house with Curbalite, the app-controlled landscape curb that wraps your trees in color. Pick any hue, run preset scenes, even schedule your lights right from your phone. And on party night, make the lights dance to the music. Choose the traditional round tree ring or the contemporary square. Both install in minutes and link together for bigger, brighter displays. Connect up to 12 sets to frame your whole space. Built for real weather, Curbalite is tested in extreme heat and cold, so your glow goes year-round. Level up your nights, game day, holidays, or just because. Get Curbalite now at Curbalite.com. That's Curbalite.com.
The Weekend Warriors, taking sports talk radio to a new dimension. Listen to Ralph, Neil, Phil, and guests break down the news.
Isn't that what everybody wants?
The games.
If you like the NFL, this is your shot.
The matchups.
This will be the last year we will ever see one 3,000 strikeout player, much less two facing each other.
The Weekend Warriors.
We are known to chant as well.
You're listening to the Weekend Warrior Show. It's time for hour number 2.
It's the Weekend
Warriors.
Warriors come to play.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, everybody. It's 11 o'clock here on this beautiful divisional Saturday morning. I'm Ralph Romano, alongside my partners in crime, the legend, Neil Lynch, and the leader of the Philip Amrine Show, Philip Amrine.
Welcome in, guys.
This is the Weekend Warriors.
Hey, listen, it doesn't matter if you want it to be the Weekend Warriors Show or the Philip Amrine Show.
It's coming in hot.
It's coming in hot. It's coming in spicy. It's coming in a little juicy and kind of moist if you want to get into it. But we want you to be involved in the show. We want you to join us on the text line, on the comments line. Here's how you do it. There's 2 ways. First of all, you can comment on any of our live social media streams, X, YouTube, Facebook. You can also hit us up on the Fanatic. Excuse me.
Wow.
I did it again.
It's fanatical.
I turned into Ralph just now. The Fanatical Weekend Warriors text line. That's 866-412-6366.
Why is it so sexy?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because it's 866-412-6366.
Blissful Hayes is on that text line and says, I hope Neil bets more than 50 cents.
No, I bet $5.
Still has a 5 in it, though.
So we're gonna pivot to the NFL, but we can't pivot to the NFL.
Why not?
Without this.
Do you consider yourself one of those cast-offs too?
No, I'm not a cast-off.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, he is now. Was that on his? Was that at Customs in Cancun as he was coming in for vacation?
Did he
or
get
what?
released?
No, his
Not
contract.
yet?
His contract's done.
Okay.
So I mean, he's
His
a free
contract's
agent
done.
now.
He's walking around
So
just
he's released.
blindly. He's listen. If I were him, before I go to Cancun, I go right to my little sensory deprivation cave, just loaded up on ayahuasca up the hill and everything, every other psychedelic you can possibly load up on, and just be in there for about a week.
So let's start where we always start. We
What's
have to
that?
start here.
Like sands through the hourglass, so are the games of last week.
The games of last week, Philip Amrine's favorite segment on this show.
It really is.
And he put his little hat on just to kind of prove it. He wants to talk Bronco football. But we're going to talk games of last week first.
But there was no Broncos last week.
That's why.
Also, one thing to note of last week.
What's that? What's that,
but
Phil?
That isn't necessarily games, but it certainly will affect games going forward.
But will it?
We got a Harbaugh in New York. We got a Big Apple Harbaugh.
Do we have a breaking news sounder for that? Just for the fun of it? Breaking news: John Harbaugh joins.
Is that crazy that
the New York Football Giants?
Is that crazy that that's the first job hire like that out of the pick of the litter that he had?
Mm-hmm.
Would that have been your first one?
Only because I think he'll have total control.
Have total control.
Yeah.
And he has a quarterback that at least, I mean, he obviously believes in. You have to.
I'm surprised that the Giants acted as quickly as they did.
Well, remember, weren't they the first team to, because the Titans
did get rid of
late because they beat the Cardinals in embarrassing fashion for the Cardinals. So I think that everything got pushed back 2 weeks, and then if memory serves, the Giants were the first to fire their.
Sorry,
what the heck was that?
My
By the way, I love the fact that Cam Scatterbo is on a John Harbaugh team. We need to add a Cam Scatterbo scream or yell or something to our sounder board, because that's going to be pure gold entertainment this whole next season with him.
Agreed.
Just being insane.
Okay,
oh
so
my goodness.
Let's look at the games of last week. So let's go back and
fantastic games.
Let's start in Carolina, right? Where you had the Rams, who actually struggled against the Panthers, and I think to a lot of people's surprise, and were able to pull it out at the end, 34-31. I honestly thought the Panthers had them.
Wait, 2 minutes to go.
I did too, actually.
Panthers were leading the game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they had them. I really did. What is the deal with the Panthers and the Rams? The Rams, that seems to be their kryptonite.
Both games that they played this year, the Rams were favored by 10.5. And the first one they lost, and the second one they did not cover. So yeah, it's crazy.
The Rams have deficiencies. Like I think it speaks of the entire NFL to when you can say that the Rams are the most complete team in the NFL. However,
arguably,
oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, for any reasonable fan, the Rams are the most complete team in the NFL. However, they do have an awful execution on special teams.
It's horrible.
It like their special teams account for at least like 10 points. 10 points each and every week.
What is worse? The fear of maybe a turnover by your offense, or having a really, really bad special teams?
Bad special team. Sorry.
I agree with that comment. It's bad special teams, because games so often in playoffs come down to a kick. And if you can't execute, you lose the game.
Yeah, but if your team executes so well on offense that they just score a touchdown,
but they don't always. Their losses this year are all because of their special teams unit. Every one of them.
I'd have to think about it.
No, it is. Every one of them is because of special teams.
However, the Panthers, playing for their lives, had every bit of motivational board accessible to them, where there was like nobody believed in him. That was the foregone conclusion. Bryce Young played himself into a fifth-year option.
I thought he looked really well.
Yeah, he did. He looked great.
And you know what's crazy too? This is a side note.
What's crazy?
Where the hell are the Panthers spending their money? Like, they had a rookie quarterback on his rookie quarterback contract. Name like 3 players on their team. You got Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. So I can name their running back.
I can name Cam Newton.
The receiver.
Adam
I love McMillan. He's a rookie, but I love him.
He's not costing them anything.
Sam Darnold.
You look at the Texans and CJ Stroud. Again, same draft class, same everything. They went and got Stephon Diggs. They got the guy who plays opposite Will Anderson Jr. in the guy who came from the Vikings. I can't think to create a fearsome foursome on that defensive line. You get to see, and then but outside of like J.C. Horn on the Panthers, it's criminal what they
Dowdle. They got Dowdle.
Yeah, but they got Dowdle for nothing out of Dallas. So it's odd. As far as the Rams go, though, you have to feel like out of the teams remaining left in the playoffs, which is weird to say, they got the best draw, given that the Bears can legitimately play teams with the feeling and confidence that they are never out of it. Never. Not one. Like,
unless they're playing the Seahawks, and then they're gonna die.
So if we move to the Packers,
let's move to the Packers
and
game,
Bears game.
Oh my goodness!
Caleb Williams.
Stat of the week is that in a series where the Bears have won 2 out of the 3 in head-to-head matchups of the Bears and Packers series this year, the Bears have not led in regulation or at any point in time during this, except for the last second. They have 0 seconds leading in that series and have won twice.
That's going to catch up with them. That has to.
So
right
next year,
it has to.
Would you like to hear my take on this game?
Well,
Since
you're
I
a
am
Packer
the
fan,
resident
so yeah,
Packer
I'd
fan.
love to.
So first of all, I'm going to say that as much as I wanted the Packers to win that game, I'm not surprised at the outcome. I think that Packer fans acknowledge, and by the way, I did go watch the entire game start to finish at Casey Jones on Bell Road in Phoenix with a lot of other very, very disillusioned, very sad Packer fans. There was a woman who was crying about like 5 minutes left in the game. She was crying.
Was she hot?
That's why she was crying.
Objectively, she was not hot, but she was also married, so it doesn't matter. But
2 reasons to cry.
Anyway, so, and I'm married too, so it doesn't matter. Anyway,
reason to cry.
So, wow, okay, y'all are sus. So I thought this. I'm not surprised at the outcome. I am surprised though. I am surprised that you can be up 21-3 at halftime and still manage to squander away the game. That's what bothers me. The fact that you're unable to hold any kind of lead in that situation, knowing that you had a chance to knock out the Bears, your hated division rival, I think the oldest rivalry in all of professional sports, and you couldn't do it. That is a shame. That has to be investigated. That has to be investigated at the highest levels of the Packers ownership.
And that's why we're going to give the GM, the coach ahead extensions.
Yeah, I know that really bothered me. So here's the other thing too. I will say about this.
Good point.
Hey, Chicago Bears fans, congratulations on your win. By the way, I loved all the cheese grater stuff. Listen, you have been
that was funny.
It was hilarious.
Past security.
I don't understand it, but here's the thing. Because it's Chicago and they can do that, right? So
don't worry, this is just for show.
I love the fact that you won the game, you beat your rival. You have been on the other side of that matchup for so long, especially when Aaron Rodgers, who's still your dad apparently, as long as he was there.
Paternity papers have come back.
That's right. So you are the father. So listen, enjoy it, right? I am concerned though that your exuberant over celebration makes me think that this was your Super Bowl. And we'll talk about that later.
25 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. But they've been doing this all year.
And here's what I said, and I did say this too. One more thing is that this tracks with what you and I think we all agree all season. The Bears were going to struggle the first part of the season as they got used to Ben Johnson and his way, but they have completely bought in, and now we are seeing the results of that. And I think that you could talk about what you want for this year, but I think this is a sign of what's to come next season.
And I think a big part of that is you're seeing USC Caleb Williams making the throws that he's making. It's typical Caleb Williams. That 4th and 8 that he threw was unbelievable.
Yes.
But those are the throws he was consistently doing in college, and they went away last year, but they seem to be coming back. And I think it's because of his comfort level with Ben Johnson's offense. He feels like, number one, because of the guys around him, he doesn't have to do as much, but when he does, he can go ahead and go into that bag of tricks and make those amazing plays. Caleb Williams is still going to be this superstar that I said he was going to be. You're starting to see it. So great win for the Bears. We'll talk about the game they have this week. Let's go to the chat real quick. On Facebook, Bitter Dolphin Fest, I think you need some sexy music in the background for all of today's innuendos.
Well, we always need.
What I feel like we should do is have a sounder that goes, "Oh yeah," or something like that. Or yeah, babe, or have Austin Powers go, "Yeah, baby." Let's do that. I think that's our sounder.
And then we have Shannon Stewart back on, says, and he's on YouTube, says, I really thought the Bears had a chance to win Sunday night until I saw that LA signed Kyle Tucker. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny.
To your point,
I like that.
To your point,
like
Neil, while one thinks that the Bears, that will be placed on them should they lose to what I think across the board everybody thinks is a better team in the Rams. I do think that the Bears have solidified that no matter what they do in the postseason now,
Success.
Success. Like they've accomplished what they needed
This
to
year
accomplish.
was success.
Yes, 100%. I agree. As a Bears fan, it doesn't matter what happens at this point because you've got next season to look forward to, I think.
On the text line, we have Blissful Hayes saying, I'm a Bears fan, but that Packers versus Bears game was rigged. That wasn't rigged. Come on.
It was rigged in the sense that you could be up 21-3 and still lose the game.
I'll tell you what.
Well, but that's happened before though this year. That
I'm not feeling. If I'm a Packer fan or in the organization, I'm not feeling good about that Julian Love signing. Jordan Love signing.
Listen, Jordan Love made mistakes. I'm not ready to throw him out yet. I'm not ready to run him. I'm not that concerned because I think the expectations are too high. If he was playing for anybody else, it'd be different. But he's had to follow in the footsteps of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. So I guess I'm not okay. He needs a lot of help. Though. He needs support. Well, that's true. He needs support though.
It handcuffs you a little bit.
Well, he needs support. He needs a supporting cast to help him. He needs Micah Parsons back. Well, the team does, but he also he needs to have Kraft back because that to me was the bigger blow to the team was not having
the offense specifically.
That scene.
Colin Cowherd this week was talking about
who's that?
Colin Cowherd.
Who's that guy?
You know who he is.
I've never heard of him. Never heard of her. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, he was making a point about today's teams, and he said, you look at teams like the Packers where they've strapped a lot of money on Love, right? I mean, that really kind of messes it makes it hard for them to do certain things. He goes, one of the things if you look back to teams like the Patriots, those dynasty teams, he goes, they had a lot of B+ players everywhere, and they didn't spend a ton of money everywhere. Now they had to give Brady his money, but they found a way to get B+ players and keep them feeding in. And when they needed more money, they would leave because they'd have somebody else behind them. And that's how you keep it going. And that's how they stayed competitive, right? So he's saying there's teams trying to adopt that model today. He said the Patriots again are doing that. He says he thinks Seattle's done that, which I agree. I think Seattle at this point has done that. And the Broncos, he said, could be in a position to do something like that. But that's the recipe for success in long term in the NFL now when you start talking salary caps and all that. So when you see guys like Jordan Love getting the money they're getting, it's like, yikes, is he really worth that contract? I thought he was overpaid when he got it. I'd rather see a team go get a Sam Darnold contract where you're not paying a ton of money and you've got room to do other things. And that just makes more sense. If you can find a good quarterback that can fit you, it makes a lot of sense.
I think that is the most enviable position to be in.
Yeah.
However, I think in fairness to the Packers, when you take away, without a doubt, their most explosive, integral piece to the offense in Tucker Kraft, and you take away their most explosive, integral piece on the defense, Micah Parsons, you are left to find two sides of the ball that are both trying to compensate.
Yeah.
And in pursuit of such, not be able to do so. And also keep in mind that Jordan Love was out the last 3 weeks of the season. I mean, and that he came out firing on all cylinders. Look, where I think I'd be most worried is the fact that you are extending both the GM and the head coach, and the fact that the first quarter, he looked tremendous. It was the second quarter that he really got out coached. That he while yes, Caleb Williams was tremendous and had a bunch of magic, he also got a lot of runway with which to do so, whether it be inopportune timeouts, whether it be wrong calls on fourth down.
Oh, and I love the shade that Ben Johnson threw at LaFleur in that handshake afterwards.
And LaFleur is like, they ask him like, hey, what is the deal in the press tour? He's like, hey, what's the deal? Like, why does Ben Johnson hate you? Do you know? He's like, I don't even know the dude. Like, I don't know why, but no.
That was really odd, but whatever.
Hey, generate whatever you need to.
On Facebook, Dominic is my brother's on the text line, says Bears versus Rams 1985. Do you guys remember? You played.
I do.
Right?
Dieter Brock, baby.
In the cold, like it's going to be tomorrow.
Dieter Brock.
And the Rams got beat.
They did get beat bad.
I do remember that. Okay, so moving on, we had Buffalo visiting Jacksonville, which both of you took Jacksonville, and I told you Allen was not ready to close that window.
And apparently
he was.
Ralph, you were right. And yeah,
finally,
the way that Josh Allen willed that team to victory was a sight to see.
You got any comment?
Wow. Just silence.
I am so upset at Liam Cohen's inability to take advantage of what was given to him. So it's this team that I felt tremendously that they very well could represent the Super Bowl. Okay, I'm disappointed.
I thought they could too.
And Josh Allen was making lemonade out of chicken blah, you know? Yeah, because his number one target out there arguably was between Khalil Shakir and what was left of Brandon Cooks.
You know what he was making lemonade out of?
Shakir went off.
He was making lemonade out of Duval.
There we go. Trevor Lawrence, in no hemisphere, should be having 30 attempts on what is a weakness for the Buffalo Bills in their run game. Travis Etienne only got 10 carries for an average of 6.7 yards at 67 yards and got one receiving touchdown. They should have had a more run-heavy style game that by the end, they wouldn't be in the position that they were. And then to start out their possession where, yes, they had all the opportunity in the world with 30 seconds to go. They had some room to operate in. Of course, you're going to put Trevor in the position to where the first pass is immediately intercepted. Like why would you, when you have all the options in front of you, why would you opt for the go get it now mode with Trevor Lawrence, who, while yes, has had his moments, certainly was not having his best day and certainly was not comparing up to Josh Allen over there, Superman.
Especially when you have a kicker that can kick a 70-yard field goal.
Who missed leading up to halftime when the game ends in a 3-point deficit.
He's human. He's going to miss. He has a big leg. I mean, but sometimes, big leg or not.
Matt Prater looked like the better
kicker. It's not the size of the leg. It's the motion of the kick.
But I think Jeffrey, not Jeffrey. I think that Josh Allen's success made them nervous on defense and then made them switch up what they want to do on offense, because the plan to beat Buffalo is to run the ball down their throat. That's what you do against Buffalo. And you're right. They kind of went away from that.
On defense, they were successful. They were wildly successful. Yes. Like they stymied James Cook to a 3.1.
But Allen took it over.
Allen was a juggernaut of epic proportions.
That's what he does.
Of fabled history. Like his ability to, I thought he was legitimately injured at least 3 times.
You mentioned that.
Yeah. I thought he was legitimately injured at least 3 times, whether it was the leg, the hand, the concussion. Josh Hines Allen was, I mean, they had to keep making that distinction because he was wreaking havoc back there on Josh Allen, and it didn't matter. He just kept coming back. He was like the Cinderella man of Russell Crowe, who's just getting hit and just not taking a break or a breather. Just incredible performance by Josh Allen. I do wonder, and this is legitimately, this is not me being coy here. I wonder if the Bills lost this week's game last week to the Jags, who just took their pound of flesh. I wonder, we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Let's move on.
So we'll hang one more thing before. So, are you for or against the reporter glazing Liam Cohen in the post game presser?
That was awesome.
Okay, so you like that?
I thought that was awesome.
What'd you think?
Who are you?
I thought that was awesome because you know what? What a great season. You can't walk away from that. No, look, think about the Jaguars before the season started. Think about them after the season.
Who is this?
You walk away going,
I don't
hey,
know.
man,
I want to find out.
If I'm a Jaguar fan, I'm upset, but I'm also like, man, we finally have a team that we can look forward to next year. We got a shot next year to get the Super Bowl.
For the fans to interpret. I'm sorry. Like, okay, first
of
all,
great guy. I loved it.
First of all,
You're evil.
I don't think every journalist needs to have an opinion on this, because you are allowed to keep your opinions to yourself. I don't know why this all of a sudden happened, but that being said, I thought it was a very nice gesture. That said, very unprofessional.
No, it wasn't.
Incredibly unprofessional.
Oh my gosh, your generation just sucks. There was nothing bad about it.
I have no idea who the hell you are.
I was expecting the complete opposite.
I loved
that is the craziest thing ever.
Absolutely loved it.
Because I have journalistic integrity.
You're not even a journalist.
I have a degree though.
Oh, that's true. So like what, 98.6? Yeah, me too. It's great.
But I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was amazing. I thought he really appreciated it in that time. And I think he took that later and he's going to go back and go, that was awesome. That makes me feel, and our staff feel good about what we accomplished this year. You're just evil and your generation sucks. All right.
I think it was completely just a very kind gesture that could have happened not in the middle of a press room.
It made it better that it happened in the middle of a press room.
Get out of here.
Goodness. I was not expecting this.
Then we had the Niners visiting Philadelphia, and I think we all felt that the Niners were going to walk out with victory, which they did.
Sirianni, and I'll make the joke. In our text group, I made the thing that Sirianni got out coached, and of course,
I'm sniffing a reason why they lost here.
Chuckles over here was like, duh, it's so obvious. But that was a masterful coaching performance by Shanahan. The fact that he was able to overcome the injuries, obviously the injury to Kittle was huge, but just the injuries they had going into the game, plus being able to adapt in the middle of the game to still beat the Eagles was unbelievable. That was fantastic.
The Eagles were down this year. Let's not kid ourselves.
The Eagles performed exactly how they had been all year. The run game was all that they had access to. When it was successful, that was the only way that they were able to have offense. The moment it was shut down and that it became predictable, they were having an up and down passing day that was mostly down. The tush push worked sometimes, did not work other times, and finally, was there no creativity in the offense? If only they had an offensive-minded. Oh, wait, their head coach is not responsible for their offense.
For full disclosure,
yeah,
Phil hates Nick Sirianni.
A little bit. Yeah.
If he was fired this season, do you have any sense of confidence that he would get a head coaching job?
Yes, absolutely.
There is no way.
With the 9 openings that are out there right now, you don't think anyone would take him?
Well, now there's 8, but
there's 8.
It would absolutely somebody would.
There is no.
The Cardinals would take him without even thinking about it.
They already got a failed.
I'm just saying, without even thinking about it, they would take because right now they're just trying to find somebody that wants the job.
Nick Sirianni, I do not know what he is responsible for. He is a guy who the only times he's had an ability to touch the offense has failed miserably to where the GM had to step in and bring in somebody else who's better to do it. And the moment he got a chance to hire back somebody that he wanted, we got to now fire that guy at the end of the season because he was that atrocious.
Dude, did he touch you or something? What's the deal?
Well,
he touched me the wrong way.
Here's the thing. Nick Sirianni is Phil's Shedeur Sanders. That's what it comes down to. So the way you talk about Shedeur is the way he talks about Sirianni.
I find it so frustrating that people are giving him accolades and flowers.
Who is giving him accolades?
People are.
Ralph
is over here saying he won a Super Bowl. Ralph is over here saying that he has a better start than John
won
Madden,
a Super Bowl.
that he's like the winningest coach in all time.
Madden!
When I feel like it's all at the behest and at the responsibility of their general manager, Howie Roseman, who is a Hall of Fame general manager.
Okay, that's fine. Let's move on. We can't get stuck on this.
The only thing I want to say left
though
is that it is we talked about it potentially happening with the Bills and Josh Allen losing a game earlier. I think it actually happened here with the 49ers.
Agreed.
Where
I agree.
You're going to try and somehow
we'll talk about that.
Yeah, Sam Darnold is
next game
equivalent.
No, next game. So this is New England and the Chargers. The Chargers were the team that I was afraid they were going to be, and they're a pick.
And they absolutely
that's
were.
why I took New England, and I thought New England trashed them.
It was embarrassing. That was the least entertaining game of all of them, and that's saying a lot.
The last two were the least entertaining.
It was a great weekend, man. Until the Chargers.
The Steelers game was entertaining for a lot of different reasons.
For Texans fans,
yeah, no, I understand, but like as far as like the game itself, like it was just. I
thought New England did what I thought they would do. They beat a team that just is all out of sorts. Good win. I thought Maye would get his one win, and there it was. I mean, so
he sure did.
And then the final game of the weekend, which was on Monday, which they should never ever do again, a Monday game. That's just ridiculous. Was Houston's defense basically destroying Pittsburgh because it had nothing to do with their offense.
Their offense was awful. I mean,
terrible.
That was the only thing. Pittsburgh was doing nothing by virtue of the Texans defense stifling them.
Yeah.
The Texans offense was doing nothing because of their own ineptitude. Like CJ, how many missed fumbles, like snapped fumbles did he have?
Stroud's terrible.
What happened?
He had a good freshman year or rookie year, and he has been bad since.
I don't understand.
Hey, Ralph, do you have the master sounder? Do you know where it is on the board, or do you have it?
What master sounder?
The music that they play for the Masters.
No.
You don't have that on the sound? Okay.
No.
I was going to say, because the one thing, which we're not going to talk about, we don't have time in the show, but we need to talk about, this was probably Aaron Rodgers' last hurrah. To go out
I hope so.
in a manner similar to all the other legendary Packers quarterbacks, right? Like Brett Favre, going out on an injury on a cold TCF Bank Stadium field in Minneapolis, or throwing across the body interception against.
It's a bad way to go out.
It was horrible. So as much as is, and obviously I don't think any of us believe this is going to affect his legacy. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, agreed.
Absolutely. But yeah, goodbye. It was fun. Thanks, Aaron. So long, Aaron Rodgers, and thanks for all the fish.
First ballot Hall of Famer. Well,
he probably is.
No, I think he is. But where I do think it affects his legacy is name a time that a play did not succeed last night in the Steelers, and he's not over there just saying,
he's an idiot. Look,
why weren't you where you were supposed to
but
be?
what else are you going to do? What he's really mad at is that his body doesn't do the things his mind wants it to do. That's all.
God. How many
that's
times,
all it is.
How many times did Buck and Aikman like just all but say, yeah, and there was a time where he could make
I heard that too.
I understand when you want
like
something on your body to do something, if your mind's telling it to, but
I don't know what that feeling.
You will. It happens, right? It's unfortunate. There are things you can take. There's things you can take to help, but I'm telling you, it happens. Anyway, but that's all that was. Is he's just? I get the frustration. I really do get the frustration when you have that kind of career.
The fussy station.
The frustration.
The fussy stations. That happens. But anyway, so yeah, I think he's gone.
What's the fuss?
And you know what I want to make the point of last week, and I said this, and you poo-pooed me a little bit.
I've reserved the right to poo-poo.
You have 4 home teams last week that lost out of the 6 games. 4.
That's pretty crazy.
Higher seeded teams lost because why? The seeding system's broke.
Home team doesn't necessarily mean what it used to be. Home
Because
field
the
advantage.
seeding system doesn't work.
Oh, get out of here.
4 out of the 6.
Great.
I'm just saying.
Chaos, popularity, entertainment. It ensues.
It shouldn't have happened.
Who cares?
All right. Well, anyway.
And do you think that outside of perhaps the Bills, do you feel like the better team won every game? Yes.
I do.
If anything, that is a fortification of the system.
I do.
Yes.
Side of the Bills.
Every team that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, the Eagles.
They were still seated wrong, but just because a better team had to fly to someone else's stadium, it doesn't make it right.
And by the way, if you're on the other end of that, if you're the loser, what a lame excuse. Oh, our seating was wrong.
Or no, if you're on the other side of it, it wouldn't be an excuse.
If anything, it eliminates the excuse of the worst team, or the worst team always wins. They had every advantage and could not capitalize on it.
So let's look at our pick results from last week.
Oh my! I don't want to look at
since we
those.
went through the games. Yeah, I can. Yeah,
I think you gained.
No, he was 1-5.
I was 1-5. I mean, you have to try really hard to be 1-5, and I did it. I am proud of myself for being that wrong.
You got the Rams. That was it.
It's almost to do the opposite with my picks.
Phil
honestly.
didn't do much better.
Yeah,
he was 2-4.
Okay.
He got the Rams and the Texans, and then I was 4-2. So as a result,
at least you were winning.
As a result, Neil is 59-54.
I'm so far back.
Neil,
you
Phil
still
is
got a positive record though.
Phil is 72-41, and I am 72-41. I caught you.
Oh, it's a tie now.
It took inclusion of the playoffs, but we're here.
We are here. All right. So you want to get into picks?
I do. Let's get into picks. And we can talk about all the stories.
Yeah, we got all the other stuff we can talk about. Let's get into.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Let's do Texans Patriots first. Yeah,
that's because that's the.
You want to just get it out of the way?
Yeah, let's get it out of the way.
All right, Phil, go ahead.
Texans. I think a real team finally goes to Foxborough. Drake Maye looked shaky to begin with, and only got better as the game seemed to be slipping out, and Herbert seemed to dismantle himself. While the Texans have the ability to be better, at least on offense, they have the ability. I don't know if I can't trust them. Legitimately, if all you need to do is get 17 and more points, I do think the Texans can generate that, even if one of those is a pick six. So let's go Texans.
I agree with you. I think, and I've been saying this all along, I mean, obviously the Chargers were depleted, so I didn't think it was going to, I mean, despite my desire and hope that the Chargers would be the Cinderella, that just didn't work out because I have zero ball knowledge, and it doesn't matter. I don't care that my picks were awful, but I think in this case, I do think that the Patriots are going to finally be tested, and I think they'll probably lose to this ridiculously smothering defense. I'm also picking the Texans.
Oh, shoot. Can I change?
Shut up.
I'm struggling with this one. This for
why?
You're
Why?
making the first one to go. This to me is the hardest one.
Oh, really?
That's what she said.
The Texans just have no offense, and the Patriots have a good defense. So I don't see the Texans doing much on offense. And I think Drake Maye can maybe sneak in something to put some points up. I'm taking the Pats. I can't take the Texans. I think the Texans defense is phenomenal and they could destroy the Pats and make life miserable for Drake Maye. But I think they're going to find a way to put some points up. I'm going to take the Pats. I'm sorry. I'm going against you guys. Wow. I can't do it.
He'll probably be right. That's the worst part about it.
All right. So let's talk about today. The first game today, 1:30 Pacific time. Buffalo Bills at your Denver Broncos.
You go first, Ralph.
Neil, I'm letting Neil go first.
I'm going to go first on this one. So I on paper, the Denver Broncos have everything they need to be successful. They've got a young, inspired, gunslinging quarterback in Bo Nix. They've got a ridiculously awesome defense. They've got the veteran Sean Payton calling the shots and running the show, pulling the strings behind the scenes, if you will. But here's what I say. It doesn't matter because Josh Allen is going to show up and this team is going to be inspired. They're going to be hungry. They're going to be ready. They want to get that Super Bowl for Josh Allen. And I think that Josh Allen will put the Bills on his back and will rough ride through the Broncos. And I think they're going to eke out a victory in Denver against all odds. It's an absolute long shot, but I'm picking the Buffalo Bills.
Wow. I am so tempted to side with Neil. I really am.
Was I inspiring to you?
I just, Josh Allen, I mean, I just feel like I did last week. The guy just is not going to let this thing go. But he is beat up. They have a couple of guys out on defense. The Broncos are well rested. They're at home. I am not trusting of Bo Nix at this point. I don't feel we talk about Sam Darnold. Let's talk about Bo Nix too a little bit because there's a lot of questions about him as well.
Well, keep in mind for point of reference, I did think that Aaron Rodgers was going to carry the Steelers on his back, and as we saw, we all saw how that went. So
you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take the Broncos because they are the better team on paper. There's injuries for the Bills.
That's fair.
But I'm going to tell you right now, it feels so dirty and wrong because I really think Allen can win this game. I'm going to take the Broncos.
Phil doesn't mind. He likes it. All right, Phil. What do you think?
Your Broncos, Mr. Chef.
Give us your objective, non-biased viewpoint on this game. Let's hear it.
Guys, I'm not wearing this hat for giggles and hits.
And grins.
Guys, I'm not wearing
Kibbles
this
and
hat
bits.
because it makes me look good.
Well,
Guys, I'm not wearing this hat
because you're a chef.
it goes with my outfit.
It does.
I'm wearing this hat because the Broncos have finally entered the gosh darn playoffs. The Broncos have waited all year for this. The Broncos got knocked out last year by these same Bills, and we've waited. We wanted these very Bills to come down to Denver, to go up a mile and take a hike back down.
Are those things popping out of your head?
These Broncos led by Bo Nix, who took 13 years in college for this very
He's turning
moment.
red.
I know.
These
he's
Broncos led on defense by our defensive reigning player of the year, Pat Surtain. These very Broncos who see Josh Allen lining up across the way. Let me introduce you to some Zach Allen. How about them bones? Dre Greenlaw, we're going to stuff it down your face.
Wow.
We are taking the rock. We are taking the ball, and we are staying home. We are picking the Broncos, and we embark on our way to glory and to the Super Bowl tonight.
So you're picking the Broncos. Cool. Okay, anyway.
Wow. All right.
I think we know what he picked. Anyway.
Yeah. Jeez.
I'm tired listening to that. I had nothing to do with it.
All right. Let's go to the next game. Tonight's
I might
game.
pass out now.
I was going to say, you need some water?
We got the Bang Bang 40 Winers tonight against
that was
this
harsh.
number one seeded Seattle Seahawks. They're going to start with Neil because I need to give him some oxygen rest.
Yeah. Can you need some time here?
Turtleneck and some air.
I was going to say, man.
What you got,
All
Neil?
right, so here's what I have is that this should be, and I won't steal. All right. This should be an easy game for the Seattle Seahawks. However, there has been some late breaking news, which I'll let Ralph get into more of, is that apparently Sam Darnold got an owie during practice this week.
Owie.
And what's the other? Who's the bad? Drew Luck? Is that the guy?
Yeah, Drew Lock.
Drew Lock, whatever. Andrew Luck, Drew Lock. I don't know. Andrew whatever. Drew Lock has been taking a lot of the first team snaps. However, as I understand from the most of recently available information, Sam Darnold has said he will play. And I think that his status is questionable, but I think it's kind of a ruse maybe. But ultimately, here's the thing. I am afraid of the Niners because if they could take half their team and beat the Eagles, I think that they can come up with a similar scheme. If I think that Gannon is any kind of coach, not Gannon, what am I saying? Shanahan. Boy, I'm sorry. That was just oh my God. I apologize. I didn't mean to insult the Niners fans like that. If Shanahan can scheme like that, I think Shanahan can scheme for the Seattle Seahawks. However, I just don't think they have enough. I think this is the end of the road for Bang Bang Niner Gang. I think that the Seahawks win, not handily, but they win and they move on to the NFC Championship game.
Are you recovered?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right, go.
Am I wearing this 49ers thong? I'm kidding.
Wow. Okay.
Divisional game. I definitely feel comfortable in the 49ers covering. And gosh, this would be such a great game to pick up. That's why I'm going to pick them. 49ers. Let's go.
No, you're not.
You just did. Hey, listen.
The 49ers look pretty great.
Wah.
Look, I if you want actual analysis, if Sam Darnold does not play, I feel 1,000 times better. Let me tell you, as a ex-Bronco, Drew Lock lucky
I don't
watcher,
think it matters.
Yeah.
I think that the Seattle defense and Seattle run game is so good.
No,
it doesn't matter.
Where I will give Sam Darnold his props is what he does functionally, and where the defense has to respect what Sam Darnold does. And how effective he is, especially compared to what Drew Lock will offer them. I very much will give Sam Darnold that credit in that respect. And so will the defense. It is a tangible step down from where and what they get from Sam Darnold versus Drew Lock.
So Sam Darnold, he felt a twinge in his left oblique. So if anybody knows what that is, it has to do with your core and when you
oblique,
when you turn and stuff.
Is that like?
He would feel it halfway through his throw if that's what it is, right? So. He says he's fine and he'll play. And I'm sure he probably will start the game and we'll see what happens. I think they will limit the play calling because he's not going to be able to probably throw effectively downfield.
Play calling.
No, but I mean, he typically will go downfield to JSN or Shaheed. I think you'll see that limited because he's not going to be able to throw deep if he's really that hurt. That scares me a little bit.
Can't go deep.
But I do love the fact that you have Charbonnet and you have K9 doing what they've been doing the last few weeks. I expect to see more of that. Where San Francisco is going to have to be different than they were 2 weeks ago. If you remember 2 weeks ago, they held McCaffrey to 50 yards of total offense. Yeah. He only had 10 carries. That's not a recipe for success for San Fran. He has to have a lot of carries. So they're going to have to.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, they're going to have to find a way to break that front four in Seattle to be successful in this game.
Sure.
I don't think they can. I think Seattle's defense is elite. We all know that. Them and the Texans are probably the two best defenses in the league. They're very hard to run against. They're hard to throw against. They're all over the place. It's interesting. McDonald talked about their first day back at practice on Monday. The team looked like they had a week off. And that scares you, right? When you have a week off like the Broncos and the Seahawks do, you're always wondering, can they get back into it?
I worry about this game as a Broncos fan, this first game more than I do.
But he did say that the next day, everything looked right back where it was, and he felt good about it. So that was good to hear. So I think Seattle's got too much for the Niners. I don't think it's about a division rival. I don't think it's a blowout. I don't think that. Because, I mean, you have to give the Niners their flowers. I mean, as hurt as they've been all year, they're playing good ball. Their defense is playing good. They got Trent Williams back. They got, I think, the receiver Pearsall is going to be back. So that's going to help them go downfield. But I just think, and Purdy's 4-0 against Seattle in Seattle. Just don't forget that. But I think this will be different. I think Seattle wins this game. They're just a better team. They win because they're a better team. Go ahead.
I do think it's unsurprising that you would pick Seattle. However, it is something to be said that I do find it that more than likely, I mean, we haven't made our picks yet, but Seattle, in order to reach the Super Bowl, will have to go back-to-back divisional games against teams that they just in their
You are
last matchups
disrespecting
won.
the Bears.
The Bears.
If you go against where the line is. Vegas is disrespecting.
You're right. That's very possible. And that's because those are the three best teams in the game. And they all play in the same division. So
we have some breaking news on the text line. I wanted to call it out. Sports Girly says, not the text line, on our comment section. Sports Girly says, Broncos are going to lose. They aren't playoff material. Sorry, Pookie.
I didn't realize they were the Denver Traitors because we got a traitor at home. How dare you?
But she also said earlier that let's catch up real quick before we go to the next game. Yeah. Sports Girly said Texans defense has been the most consistently good this season, hands down. I disagree. Seattle's just as good as them.
The delineation, of
course
course,
you do.
being that the Texans have been the best defense, but haven't been the best D this season.
My brother Dominic comes on and says,
Yes,
he's
you
looking
would.
at you, Phil, and he says, Prozac.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking
Now,
about.
he lives outside of Denver. He lives in Colorado Springs. So,
so
he's a Ram fan.
He
though.
should know how high we get in anticipation and vigor for these games.
And Bitter Dolphin fans, doesn't Jim Harbaugh always have the look of bewilderment? Like he doesn't know what to do next?
No, the king of that is Eli Manning. Eli Manning always looked like a kid lost in the Walmart. Every single time.
As he beat Tom Brady
Yeah, I was going to
twice.
say, even after winning a Super Bowl.
And then on the text line, you've got Blissful Hayes saying, Jordan Love is worth it more than Midget Murray. Well, yeah.
I mean, that's not a real high bar to cross
the
either.
competition.
I'm worth more than Kyler Murray. So there you go.
Let's go to the next game. So you got the Rams in Chicago. Now, the thing about this game, I'll start with this game, is it's going to be freezing. They're saying it's going to be about a 20-degree temperature with a -1 to -3 wind chill. It's going to have snow flurries. That makes a lot of things happen, right? Number one, the ball gets harder. Number two, the field is a little hard.
Things get harder in the cold.
It's tougher to throw the ball,
That's
tougher to
rare.
catch the ball, tougher to kick the ball, right? All these things happen. The Rams had the same issue going into Philly last year, where it was the same cold. There was a lot of snow, but they actually played a really good game last year. Of all but one play where Barkley took off at the end there, they had that team beat. The Bears have a legitimate shot at beating the Rams. I don't want anyone to think that this is a roll game.
I agree.
This is not a roll game.
I agree.
The weather evens it out even more, in my
Yes.
opinion. It really does. The Bears are on a roll right now. Their fans are excited. They're going to be loving life, and this is going to be a great atmosphere for the Bears. I will not be surprised if the Bears find a way to win it, but I will not pick the Bears because the Rams are the absolute better team. As a Seahawks fan, do I want the Bears to win? Absolutely, because I hate to see the Rams again, because that's the only team that I think can beat Seattle. But I'm not stupid when it comes to picking, and I'm going to take the Rams because I just think they're a better team.
Notice how he qualified when it comes to picking. He's not stupid.
Yeah, that's the only time.
That was nice. All right.
All right,
Go
Neil.
ahead. So I agree with you in all the points. I do think that it does. The weather does even the field, no pun intended, a little bit. However, everybody who's talking about how, oh my God, the kids from LA are going to go to Chicago. You realize that all these players come from elsewhere. Most of them played in places like the Big Ten, where a lot of games are cold. Most of these people are from other places, right?
Where did Matthew Stafford get drafted, Neil?
Yeah. Well, let me think. Detroit.
Oh, and did he play against these very Bears? And
He was in the NFC North for a while,
is that
actually.
a cold division?
It is incredibly cold. In fact, it's the same division that the Bears play in, believe it or not.
What, Stafford?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He played indoors.
Yeah, but when he played on the road, he played outside.
But he
Look,
played indoors.
the bottom line is this: the weather isn't as much of a factor individually. It does matter when it comes to game planning, because you have to have the cleats, the surface, the ball, all that stuff matters. But the psychological part, that's minimized. Everybody calm down. All right. No, don't you Bears fan. I've seen a bunch of AI generated stuff where they show the Rams getting off the bus in their short sleeves, freezing in the cold. Yeah, I hope you had fun. Have fun with your little AI generated content. The fact of the matter is, the Bears had their Super Bowl last week. If you want to talk about psychologically, the Bears have already won. They don't care what happens. They're not going to come into this game inspired and motivated. They're going to lose on that alone. And I do pick in a very tight game. I pick the Los Angeles Rams.
You had all the points, Neil, except for the last one. The Rams are winning, and this will be a blowout. I don't know if you want to do this. If you want, you can come and get some of this. We can do a side bet on the points on the spread. I would love that. Thank you. Come at me, coward. Anyways, where we go from here, the Rams have a lot of players that are, I mean, Neil, you stole the points right out of my mind. Matthew Stafford, of course, coming. Where is Kyron Williams from? He got drafted out of Notre Dame. He's familiar with the cold. You just go up and down the lineup. I mean, I don't even know how you can, with the point being said of knowing that the Rams were the only team that played the Eagles to a standpoint last year in very similar situations. I would be worried if the Bears were playing with a windy conditions. Cold conditions, I actually dare say, can make an argument that actually helps the Rams. And here's why. If you have frigid temperatures and you are disincentivized to use your special teams, well, which team does that help out more? Which team is that where the special teams are the worry? Special teams are the thing. If you're
Interesting
down,
point.
if you're
I like
if you're
that.
at like the opponent's like not quite in the red zone, but you're at the opponent's 30 where you normally would kick, maybe you just go for the touchdown because you so desperately do not want to kick.
That hurts them.
What are you talking about? They don't trust their special teams. They're going to get stymied for an attempted field goal and
If they can't
get a touchdown.
if they can't get it in the end zone and they need to kick, and their kicking team's no good as it is,
So they just go in
advantage Bears.
But then they just go for it on 4th down, 4th and 4, as opposed to where they would normally just kick it a field goal.
I'd say the only thing you guys are both discounting is number one. You're right. There're going to be a lot of running in this game because of the conditions and all that. I get that. But where the conditions do play is it's harder to throw that ball when it's cold and it's harder to catch it when it's cold. And I think that hurts the Rams a little bit because they really rely on Puka and Devontae.
Oh, funny enough, your brother here is making a great ex-Detroit quarterback to ex-Green Bay receiver. Enough said. And of course, in Devontae there, he has you talk about people that have experience in not only just in this division, in this particular climate, in this weather. Give me the Rams. And again, Ralph, don't run away, buddy.
I'm not running away.
That's 5 points. Side wager on the points.
I don't know. I think about it.
Oh.
Okay, that means no.
All I got to say is if the Rams do win and Seattle wins today, it's going to be ugly next week.
Oh, yeah. The Rams are going to blow them out.
It's going to be ugly. It's going to get ugly in here.
The NFC Championship game that everybody is expecting
well,
at
it's
this
the one
point,
that
but we'll have to see.
Yeah,
Let's
see if they get there.
Exactly. Let's see.
There's our picks. And we'll see how we've got everything the same except for one, the Texans game.
Texans game, yeah.
So it would be everything be
at
right
this
on
point,
that game.
it doesn't matter. I'm like 500 points behind. It doesn't matter on the picks. I'm just doing it for the fun.
There will be a leader.
I just like chaos.
At the end of this
there
week.
will be a
this is
leader
so
at the end
hot.
of this week.
Just think about that.
And potentially, if
what?
Oh no, wait, no, actually, we differ on 2. I picked the 49ers.
You know, I think it'll be fun. Oh, sorry. I'll let you guys talk about that.
You
first.
did take the Niners. You did.
Oh, you just so flippantly thought that I was joking that you.
Neil took the Seattle. That's
yes,
right.
he did.
I did.
Maybe I should take them.
Yeah,
maybe I should take the Bills.
Oh, okay. Now you're going to change the picks retroactively.
I'm not changing them.
Come
All
on
right,
now.
I got it right.
Stick with
we're
your
different
picks.
too.
Be
So
true to your school. Stick to your picks.
I'm curious.
Are you,
Ralph? You're over here. Say which team, if you are so flippantly dismissing the 49ers, which team would you rather face next week coming over to Seattle?
Bears.
You would rather face the Bears? So you
absolutely.
Agree? Okay.
I think the Seattle and the Rams match up really well.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's no doubt about it. That would be a very nerve-wracking game to watch. I don't think Caleb Williams can come into Seattle and move the ball against that defense at all. I think Seattle would shut the Bears offense completely down.
And then what team would you least like to meet in a potential Super Bowl matchup?
Least like?
Yes.
Of the teams that are eligible.
Yeah. So you got the Bills, Broncos, Patriots, or Texans.
I got to tell you, we've already played the Texans this year and beat them.
What was that score?
It was a high-scoring game.
Was
I remember right. I don't remember totally.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah,
for you.
but I know we've already beaten them. They don't scare me.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we did.
No, you did. No, wait. No, you didn't.
Did you play the Texans this year?
No, you didn't. Texans did not play the Seahawks.
What?
Oh, yes, they did.
Yeah, they
27-19.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
What's going on over there?
I had the wrong team pulled out.
And
So
that's when Stroud actually looked decent in the beginning part of the year.
Did she have the internet back then? What the heck?
Anyway, I got to be really honest with you, and I don't say this in a mean way.
Oh,
there's not a team in the AFC that scares me. There just isn't.
No,
there really isn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's.
I guess if I had to pick one, maybe the Broncos because of their
Because if they get
defense.
by there,
Because of their defense.
and also if they get to the Super Bowl, then you know that their offense is at
But-
least serviceable.
But I think that Bo Nix would have a nightmarish day against Seattle's defense, big time. I don't fear their offense. I fear their defense. Just like the Texans, I don't fear their offense.
I think that's why, and I think a lot of pundits and people who get paid to spew their opinions online or everywhere constantly, I think they're saying the same thing: is that if the Rams and Seahawks get to the NFC Championship game, that's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The game afterwards, it's just basically an excuse to watch Bad Bunny.
There is a guy. We talked about this before. There's a guy online, right? He calls himself the
Now
future.
there's a guy,
right? He calls himself the future. And I was shown this by a friend of mine. He's basically picked every single college football playoff game correctly, and he picks Indiana to win the championship. And he's picked every NFL playoff game correctly to this point. So here's his picks for this week.
All right, what are his picks?
Right? He has the Bills beating the Broncos.
Of course.
He has the
he's
Niners
smart.
beating the
He's already
Seahawks.
yes.
Right? You don't have to get excited about that one.
That you can get excited about.
He
Yes.
has the Rams beating the Bears.
The Bears.
And he has the Pats beating the Texans.
I could see that one.
Okay, that's his 4 picks. And then he goes to next week and he has, let's see here. He has the Rams beating the Niners in the NFC Championship game. And he has the Pats beating the Bills in the AFC Championship game. And then in the Super Bowl, he has the Rams beating the Pats. He hasn't lost a game yet.
Is this guy's name Biff Tannen?
No, it sounds like
Does
it.
he have a copy of Gray's Sports Almanac in his pocket?
He might.
What is going
he
on
has
here?
been 100% accurate. And so we'll see today because he's predicting that both number 1 seeds will fall today.
Well, here's what I want to say. If he is right, I want him to go on X on a video and say, I just have one thing to say. God bless America.
Okay.
If any of you've ever seen Back to the Future, you know exactly what that was.
If we see the 2 number 1 seeds go down today, which is what he's predicting, I will bet every game he picks the rest of the way.
The rest of your life?
The rest of the way this year. I will take every win he has.
Well, there's only 3 games left after that.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically, if you go to the Super Bowl.
Well, no,
because you have the 2 on Sunday.
The top 2
on Sunday.
So he said, as long as today,
so you got more chance.
Because the likelihood of both number 1 seeds falling, that's not very likely.
Also, keep in
one
mind,
of them, yes.
Keep in mind too. I mean, you talked about playoff seeding. Again, if you're talking about advantages in what is earned throughout the regular season, think about the advantage that the number 1 seeds hold today. They took off a week, and for like maybe half of I mean, both of them, the Seahawks all but no, I guess they needed the 49ers. But anyways, so they took off a week. Rested through a playoff game that the other teams all had close playoff games. None of them were able to rest. And then you look towards this week, they get the early game. They get the early game on Saturday. So
yes.
So
yes.
Yeah. So
why?
What are you talking about?
Because they hate you.
They're the number 1 seed.
Because they hate you.
But don't you think the Niners and the Bills got kind of slighted?
Maybe.
Where here you want to know something?
No, I don't.
Where we can possibly meet in the middle is I think that there should not be, what is it, a 7th team in the playoffs?
There's 7.
Yeah, 7 from each
conference.
conference.
There should be a 17.
There should not be, because I do agree that having the number 2 overall, I thought it was far more fair that if you are a team that has gone all season and you are the number 2 team in your conference, I thought it was far more fair that you earned yourself a bye as well. Because we've seen it in the past couple of years with the elimination of the number 2 seed. Sometimes that seed is just barely a game, if not the same one. It just comes down to a tiebreaker.
Then do you just add an 8th team?
No. I'm saying you just eliminate the
so you
7.
have 6.
Yeah, go back to 6, back to what it was and had been traditional.
Well, that'll never happen.
It'll never happen now that they've gone.
They're going to go
through
to 8.
That's absurd.
Yeah,
and then you're going to get the top 2.
And by the way, on an aside, if you were to pick Biff Tannen's picks on DraftKings, $5 would pay $82.77 for his parlay.
I'm going to do that.
I did it.
I mean, I'm going to do it just because.
Yep.
Well, once it goes through.
I think I'm going to do it anyway. What's $5?
I'll speak for yourself.
No, I put on these 4 games on the 4 games this weekend. I already put my money down.
Some of us have been eating out all week, and those $5.
I do think they could have done a better job of scheduling by putting the Niners on a Sunday versus Seattle.
Why are you doing them favors?
And then putting the Bills on Sunday. Why wouldn't you just do that?
Why not?
And please stop doing the Monday night game. That is,
I mean, we're in agreement.
Stupidity.
There. Yeah,
absolute stupidity.
Yeah, I agree with that too. That's dumb.
I agree.
I don't know what they're trying to accomplish by doing that.
We're going to get more.
They're trying to
watch all the games.
You know what they were accomplishing? That was an extra game for ESPN for their Monday Night Football package. That's exactly. It had nothing to do with the NFL. That was about the broadcast rights or media rights.
You're right. It was horrible experience.
Yes, it was.
I'm not going to cry that the Niners, in my opinion, were slighted. I mean, I hate the Niners. So
do you hate them?
Slight them all you want. I don't care.
You really hate them.
I still think it's wrong.
Hate's a strong word.
Yeah, well, I hate the Niners.
The Niners are amongst the most obnoxious, especially if you are a division rival. They are amongst there's always in every division the most obnoxious one. Like the hardest one to kind of have as obnoxious would be in the NFC North. Like there's not really an obnoxious team in that group. Because like it would be the Lions, but I mean,
I don't think they're
currently
obnoxious.
it's the Bears, but traditionally they're not. But that's the hardest one. Every other team, NFC East,
Packer
Cowboys,
fans are annoying.
Can they be? I mean, well, you just know Neil.
Depends on your definition of annoying.
Yeah, West, of course, it's
if talking about the past
AFC
constantly
West,
is annoying, then yes.
AFC West, the Raiders. You look at the AFC South, nobody cares anyways. The AFC North, it's the Bengals. Right now, they are just taking that.
We can't talk about them. People don't like when we talk about Bengals.
Oh, really?
Who doesn't like that? The Bengals?
People online think we're fantastic, except we don't.
The Bengals, the
we talk about
Bengals, the Bengals, the Bengals, the Bengals, the Bengals, the Bengals, the Bengals. I'm just going to keep talking about
AFC
it.
East,
Bengals.
weirdly
Bengals.
enough, the annoying team in that group is the very team that has the most success. Usually that's not one and the same, but it's the New England Patriots are the most annoying team.
No, you know why? It's because New England fans are the most annoying.
Yeah.
They call them massholes for a reason.
There we go.
They call them what?
Massholes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
New England sports fans are the most obnoxious. They're not the worst.
I got to tell you,
but they're the most obnoxious. You never heard the term masshole?
No,
Well, I just introduced you to the term. It's massholes.
Never heard it.
And and massholes fans take that as a point of pride. That's not even an insult to them. They're like, yeah, we are.
Got to tell you,
we're massholes.
Not if, but when the Broncos win this week, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I might pop an artery. I mean, my God.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to admit this. I'm nervous.
Oh, yeah.
If Sam Darnold's hurt, I'm nervous.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So,
especially then, yeah. And that would truly be unfair, honestly.
The texting between us this weekend is going to be top tier. I can't wait for it.
Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. We will be back same bat time, same bat channel next week. Enjoy the playoffs, and most importantly, go Hawks.